Chapter 251. Chapter 251. A drop of water from the longevity pond. Do it, but don't let him die, Yang Hanwu said. Initially, Xiaochen wanted to practice his skills. However, this illusion cloud rat seemed to have been stifled. Thinking about it, it made sense. He had been tormenting this fellow for no reason, and its resentment had grown. If he did not vent it, it would not be appropriate. After all, given this fellow's current strength, it could be considered as a grade 7 savage beast. Even though its true fighting prowess was lacking, its ability to set up an illusory formation was nothing to scoff at. That's great, Master. I promise I won't kill him. When the illusion cloud rat heard this, its long whiskers trembled even more violently, and its thieving eyes revealed an excited expression. Little White is really amazing. 7th grade illusory formation. Amazing, really amazing. Jing Qiushuang had long known of the illusion cloud rat's existence. However, she did not know that the illusion cloud rat could now set up a Tier 7 array formation. She also knew that Yang Hanwu had the eggs of the metal-devouring beetles. If the metal-devouring beetles were hatched, together with the illusory cloud rat, their battle prowess would reach a terrifying level. If he could find a battle pet that focused on attacking, it would be a perfect combination. With the illusory cloud rats setting up the illusory formation and the gold-devouring beetles for defense, Zhang Xian would be able to find a powerful offensive assistant. Once he grew stronger, he would definitely be invincible among those of the same level. In fact, it would be easy for him to challenge those of a higher level. Not only was it a one-on-one battle, but it was also a group battle that was extremely terrifying. That's all this rat can do. Although Yang Hanwu said that, he was very satisfied with the illusory cloud rat. This fellow was not only good at setting up illusory arrays, but it was also like an encyclopedia. It knew many things about the ancient times. He had helped him a lot. Yang Hanwu knew that the phantom cloud rat was not as simple as it seemed. He had made the wisest decision to take the rat as his battle pet. Inside the illusion array, Bu Jitian was pacing back and forth. He realized that something was wrong. There was something strange about the surroundings. There was actually the faint sound of a woman moaning. At this time, beauties walked out one after another. These women were all wearing revealing clothes, and their postures were very seductive. Bu Jitian's heart swayed as he watched. However, Bu Jitian was Bu Jitian after all. He was not a lecherous man. In his eyes, there was no difference between men and women, only enemies and himself. Trying to charm me with such a petty trick? You're really courting death. Bu Jitian snorted coldly, and the weapon in his hand exploded with a terrifying light, smashing the women into pieces. When the illusion cloud rat saw this, it couldn't help but stomp its feet in anger. Bastard, damn bastard, you don't even like beautiful women. Following that, the illusory cloud rat's eyes darted around as it thought to itself, if he doesn't like women, then he must like men. Thus, the scene in front of Bu Jitian changed again. The seductive women disappeared and were replaced by all sorts of handsome men. Some were handsome, some were burly, some were seductive, and some were extremely masculine. All of them walked towards Bu Jitian. Bu Jitian was even angrier when he saw this. Damned little bastard. Despicable, despicable. How dare you humiliate me like this? I'm going to tear you to shreds. Bu Jitian's berserk aura exploded out, and his powerful strength caused those men to die one by one. Wah wah wah. The illusory cloud rat cried out in anger. It had failed twice. It was a dignified sovereign beast, but it couldn't even deal with a brat who hadn't even reached the primordial spirit realm. It was too embarrassing for the illusory cloud rat. He doesn't like women, and he doesn't like men either? Could it be that he likes savage beasts? The illusory cloud rat's imagination ran wild. This human's taste is too strong, but since you like them, I'll give you savage beasts. When Yang Hanwu and Jing Qiushuang heard the illusory cloud rat's muttering in its actions, they couldn't help but laugh so hard that their stomachs were cramping. This Whitey is really, really funny. Bu Jitian is really unlucky to have met Whitey. Jing Qiushuang leaned on Yang Hanwu, gasping for breath. She was laughing so hard that she couldn't even stand properly. He doesn't like women, and he doesn't like men either. Could it be that he likes savage beasts? His taste is too strong? This F***er is really a weirdo. Yang Hanwu didn't know if it was because he had locked the rat up for too long. While Yang Hanwu and Jing Qiushuang were laughing so hard that they couldn't breathe, Bu Jitian saw a group of savage beasts. There were all kinds of savage beasts, wild boars, wolves, bulls, and so on. Their eyes were all red, and they charged at Bu Jitian as if they had gone mad. Bu Jitian's face turned green when he saw these savage beasts. Beasts in heat, all of them were beasts in heat. Which bastard set up this array? How wicked! Suddenly, Bu Jitian felt that something was wrong. A pink smoke entered his body. Damn it! Bu Jitian's expression changed drastically. That bastard used drugs. Damn it, this pink smoke is obviously that kind of drug. Yang Hanwu and Jing Qiushuang saw this scene. They were laughing so hard that tears came out of their eyes. This illusory cloud rat is really wicked. In the illusion array, a large group of savage beasts in heat was created, and it even used lover's miasma. Yang Hanwu and Jing Qiushuang were very familiar with the lover's miasma. The reason why they were together was because of this lover's miasma. However, Bu Jitian was in trouble now that he had been hit by the lover's miasma. Although there were savage beasts, they were all created by the illusion array. Jing Qiushuang couldn't stand it anymore. The next scene would probably be unbearable to watch. Yang Hanwu couldn't stand it either. Damn it, that scene was too hardcore. Yang Hanwu was just worried that Bu Jitian would explode and die. As it turned out, Yang Hanwu's worry was unnecessary. The illusory cloud rat, a shameless rat, did the most shameless thing possible, which was to attract several wild boars. 2 hours later, the illusory cloud rat finally stopped the illusion array. It came to Yang Hanwu, eager to be praised. Master, it's done. That guy is still breathing. Ahem, the illusory cloud rat, right? Well done. Yang Hanwu glanced around. Damn it. He almost threw up the dinner he had last night. He turned around and said, Illusory cloud rat, wash that guy and change his clothes. Disgusting, really disgusting. The illusory cloud rat liked this kind of thing. Well, it seemed that the battle pet he had taken was really. Yang Hanwu didn't know what words to use to describe it. Yang Hanwu began to doubt his previous thoughts. Was it the right decision to take the illusory cloud rat as his battle pet? The illusory cloud rat did as it was told and threw Bu Jitian to Yang Hanwu. Master, this is that guy's storage ring. The illusory cloud rat threw Bu Jitian's storage ring over. Yang Hanwu was overjoyed as soon as he opened it. Chapter 252. A trace of green. This really is the longevity pond's water. Bu Jitian, you actually managed to get your hands on the longevity pond's water. Yang Hanwu looked at the jade bottle in his hand. Without a doubt, this was the longevity pond's water. It was rich with life energy that made one feel refreshed. Hopefully, the longevity pond's water would be able to nurture the nameless wooden stick. Yang Hanwu accepted the jade bottle without hesitation. There were a few other things in the ring, most of which were medicinal pills and spirit stones. The Heavenly Dipper lightning-proof formation is actually a formation disc. Yang Hanwu also found something else in the ring that surprised Yang Hanwu. It was a very high-grade and precious item. Formation discs were similar to talismans. Although the Heavenly Dipper lightning-proof formations disc couldn't compare to his Dragon God Demon suppressing talisman, it was still a first-rate treasure. Formation discs were probably extremely rare even in the primordial regions, let alone the ancient Desolation continent. After Yang Hanwu put away the items, he kicked the unconscious Bu Jitian who was still lying on the ground. Bu Jitian slowly regained consciousness. It's you? When Bu Jitian saw the person in front of him, his eyes went wide. It was actually this bastard. Bu Jitian's face turned the color of pig's liver as he recalled what had happened to him. His expression turned ferocious, and he glared at Yang Hanwu like a hungry wolf. Yes, it's me. Yang Hanwu looked at him. You didn't expect to fall into my hands after coming here to kill me, did you? Kill me if you have the guts. As long as I'm alive, I'll kill you and wipe out your entire clan. Bu Jitian said viciously. Kill me and wipe out my entire clan? Yang Hanwu sneered. You won't have the chance. Today, you'll die without a doubt. As he spoke, Yang Hanwu stepped on Bu Jitian's face. Back then, when you were so arrogant and wanted to kill me, did you think this day would come? TSK, so what if you're a genius disciple of Tai Academy? The scene is very exciting. In fact, I'm looking forward to the exciting scene between you and those savage beasts. What will happen if it spreads out? Would the Bu clan still have any face left? Will the ancestors of your Bu family crawl out of their graves in anger? Bu Jitian's eyes went wide, and he tasted something sweet in his throat. Humiliation. Utter humiliation. When he thought of that, he couldn't take it anymore. A mouthful of blood rushed up his throat, and his eyes went wide. Yang Hanwu tossed Bu Jitian's corpse aside. If it had been someone else, Yang Hanwu might have been merciful enough to bury them, but Yang Hanwu didn't like Bu Jitian, so he decided to leave his body here to feed the savage beasts. Shuang let's go, Yang Hanwu said. Jin Qiushuang nodded. She also looked at Bu Jitian with disgust, and didn't even look at him. The two set off for the Morning Soul Mountains again. Yang Hanwu summoned the Dapeng Golden Eagle, and the two rode it toward the Morning Soul Mountains. Half a day later, they arrived at the outskirts of the Morning Soul Mountains. This place was shrouded in a layer of fog, and it was very mysterious. After putting the Dapeng Golden Eagle back into the Immortal Pagoda, the two slowly advanced. Be careful. I suspect that this Morning Soul Mountains is actually a huge tomb. It's very likely the tomb of a super expert, Hua Qianxue said. The tomb of a super expert? Yang Hanwu took a deep breath and said, that's not possible. The Morning Soul Mountain range is so huge. It's not smaller than the Sky Dragon Mountain range at all. If the entire mountain range is a tomb, how terrifying would this super expert be? Building such a huge tomb was also a huge project. Even a primordial spirit realm, even an existence that surpassed the primordial spirit realm wouldn't be able to build such a huge tomb. There's nothing impossible about this. The methods of true experts are not something you can imagine. They can refine the entire mountain range and the entire tomb into a magical treasure, just like your Nine Heavens mysterious Een Pagoda. It looks small, but in reality, it's incomparably spacious. It's very possible that it's a special space that they opened up using heaven-defying methods, Hua Qianxue explained. Yang Hongwu's heart was beating wildly, and his eyes were filled with excitement. A super expert's tomb, if he could get the treasures inside, he would be rich. There might even be 8th grade Emperor pills, or even 9th grade Emperor pills. TSK, if he took out even one of these pills, he would be beaten to death even in the ancient region. A super expert's tomb, huh? Then, if we can find the real tomb, wouldn't we be rich? Yan Hanwu said. If we can get the inheritance, that's even more amazing. Who knows, I might be able to break through to the primordial spirit realm in a single step. Things aren't that simple. Hua Qianxue said. The tomb of a super expert is filled with danger. Even if you have the Immortal Pagoda and Talisman treasure to protect you, you won't be completely safe. Just as he was about to enter the Morning Soul Mountain, Yang Hanwu felt some movement from the mysterious wooden stick in his spiritual palace. It was actually absorbing the mysterious mist in the Morning Soul Mountain. Yang Hanwu was shocked. The mysterious mist was entering his spiritual palace, and was being devoured by the wooden stick bit by bit. Not long after, the entire outer layer of fog was swallowed up, but the wooden stick still seemed to want more. Yang Hanwu was stunned. What was going on? What was this mist? Why was the wooden stick absorbing the mist? At this moment, there was a hint of green on the wooden stick. Yes, there was a hint of green. Although it wasn't obvious, Yang Hanwu could still see it. Yang Hanwu hurriedly took out the piece of wood. He thought of the longevity pool water that he had just obtained. Next, he brought out the longevity pond's water as well. Then, he carefully dripped the longevity pond's water onto the wooden stick. The moment the water from the longevity pool landed on the wooden stick, it was absorbed at a very fast speed. Yang Hanwu could sense that there was an additional trace of life within the wooden stick. Although this trace of life was very weak, it was extremely powerful. A drop of longevity pool water contained a huge amount of energy. If an ordinary person swallowed it, they probably wouldn't be able to absorb it all. Even a fourth-step primordial spirit realm expert would need a few days to absorb the longevity pool water. But this wooden stick absorbed all the longevity pool water in a breath. It was obvious how powerful this wooden stick was. "Husband, what is this? Why did you drip longevity pool water on it? Aren't you going to use it to hatch the gold-devouring beetles?" Seeing Yang Hanwu dripping water from the longevity pond onto a wooden stick, Jing Qiushuang's eyes widened and she asked in confusion. Chapter 253. Lin Quan so powerful? Heaven-climbing vine? That's the heaven-climbing vine. When Jing Qiushuang heard that even the heaven-climbing vine was devoured, she was even more shocked. The heaven-climbing vine was a legendary demonic vine that could connect to the heaven world. If one could obtain the heaven-climbing vine, one could ascend to the heaven world and become an immortal. That's why I want to nurture it. Although it's difficult, if I can really nurture this wooden stick, it will definitely be extremely powerful and terrifying. Yang Hanwu said. "Yes, husband. You can definitely do it." Jing Qiushuang's eyes were filled with splendor. The man she had her eyes on was just so powerful and outstanding. He had even obtained the heaven-climbing vine before. Although his journey had been fraught with danger, and he had narrowly escaped death, it had always been more daunting than dangerous. And he had always been able to grow in danger. Fate? The main character of the world? The one blessed by the heavens? That's right, my husband must be the son of providence of this world. Legend had it that a son of fate would be born in the ancient desolate continent every 100,000 years. They were blessed by the heavens and their lives would be glorious. Along the way, there would be mountains of corpses and seas of bones. All of their enemies would be killed mercilessly and become their stepping stones to reach the peak. After the wooden stick absorbed the water of the longevity pool, the hint of green on it became more obvious. Soon, it turned into a ray of light and entered Yang Hanwu's spiritual palace. A message was transmitted from the spiritual palace. It was a joyful feeling, as though it was asking Yang Hanwu to find more things for it. The longevity pool's water and the mysterious mist. The longevity pool's water wasn't easy to find. But the mist was definitely abundant in the Morning Soul Mountain range. If it absorbed all the mysterious mist in the Morning Soul Mountain range, would it make the wooden stick sprout? If it could, it would be great. Let's go. Yang Hanwu held Jing Qiushuang's hand. In the Morning Soul Mountain range, the mist was extremely corrosive and could affect one's mind. However, it had no effect on Yang Hanwu and Yi Zichen. Instead, it was the tonic of the wooden stick. If someone were to know about it, they would be extremely shocked. The two of them continued forward. Yang Hanwu felt that the wooden stick was leading the way for him. After walking for a while, Yang Hanwu was surprised to find a spiritual herb in front of him. It was a grade 6 spiritual herb, blood origin grass. Our luck is too good. It's actually a 6th tier spirit herb. Jing Qiushuang also found it unbelievable. She did not expect to find a blood origin grass, a 6th grade spiritual herb, in such a short time after entering the Morning Soul Mountain range. Be careful. There are savage beasts guarding the vicinity of grade 6 spirit herbs, said Yang Hanwu. Don't worry, husband, I know. Jing Qiushuang walked over and saw a small red snake sticking out its tongue beside the blood origin grass. This is a level 5 peak savage beast, the red thread krite. Hua Qinshu are reminded, this red thread krite is extremely poisonous. However, its venom is the key ingredient for cultivating the red blood poisonous palm. Red blood poisonous palm? Yang Hongwu frowned. He had heard of the red blood poisonous palm before. It was a very cruel and poisonous skill. If one was hit by the red blood poisonous palm, his body would rot and his blood would flow backward. It would be a fate worse than death. That's right. Don't be bitten by this red thread kite. Otherwise, it will be very troublesome. Jing Qiushuang moved. She kept waving the sword in her hand, drawing out streaks of silver light. There were sword shadows everywhere. Only the sound of ding ding dang dang could be heard. The long sword kept attacking the small snake. What a strong defense. Yang Hanwu looked at the red thread kite that was sent flying. Jing Qiushuang's attack only left a few white marks on the snake's body. Release the 9 Frost Centipede. Now that the 9 Frost Centipede has reached the level of a 6th grade savage beast, this red thread kite is the best tonic for it, said Hua Qianxue. Hearing this, Yang Hanwu quickly released the 9 Frost Centipede. As soon as the 9 Frost Centipede appeared, it turned into a streak of silver light and shot towards the red thread kite. It crashed into the red thread kite heavily. The 2 streaks of light, one red and one white, kept crossing each other at an extremely fast speed. After a few collisions, their speed slowed down. Many of the scales on the red thread kite fell off. The 9 Frost Centipede was also injured. Yang Hanwu was wondering if he should help the 9 Frost Centipede. Unexpectedly, at this moment, the 9 Frost Centipede moved again. It shot out like a sharp arrow. Looking again, the 9 Frost Centipede's mouth was biting the red thread kite's golden ring. The red thread kite twitched a few times and stopped moving. Then, the 9 Frost Centipede became bigger and swallowed the whole body of the red thread kite. Then, it flew back and landed in Yang Hongwu's palm. The stronger the strength and the higher the level, the smaller the 9 Frost Centipede became. Its crystal clear body was like a jade carving. It was very beautiful. Yang Hanwu kept the 9 Frost Centipede. On the other side, Jing Qiushuang had already carefully dug out the blood vitality grass. Blood vitality grass. When Jing Qiushuang passed the blood vitality grass to Yang Hanwu, a voice came from not far away. A man walked out. Little brother, can you give this blood vitality grass to me? The man asked for the blood vitality grass. Yang Hanwu frowned. If you want it, then give it to me. Damn it, I'm not familiar with you. Why should I give it to you? Who are you? Yang Hanwu looked at the man and said coldly, why should I give it to you? Excuse me. I'm Lin Quan, a pro-disciple of the Kunlun Academy. I've been looking for this blood vitality grass for a long time. It's very helpful to me. I hope you can give it to me. Lin Quan looked at Yang Hanwu and said again. In Lin Quan's mind, once the other party heard his name, he would definitely hand over the blood yuan grass. After all, his name, Lin Quan, was extremely famous in the ancient desolate continent. He was one of the 5 true disciples of the Kunlun Academy. You're Lin Quan from the Kunlun Academy? That's me. It's just a small name. Lin Quan's mouth curled up into a smile. He thought to himself, this kid will probably give up the blood vitality grass respectfully. Sorry, I've never heard of you. Yang Hongwu's next words made Lin Quan want to vomit blood. This bastard dared to make fun of him. Lin Quan's eyes suddenly darkened. He looked at Yang Hanwu coldly and said, little brother, are you sure you're talking to me? Are you kidding? Yang Hanwu smiled and snorted at the guy's threat. He said, do I need to joke? You're Lin Quan, right? Get out of my sight. Who do you think you are? You want my blood yuan grass? Even if the leader of your Kunlun Academy comes here, I won't give you the blood yuan grass. Chapter 254. Body of the Devil Dragon. Seeing this, Yang Hanwu hurriedly retreated. He threw out a talisman in his hand, which transformed into a sharp knife and rushed toward the fist. Grade 6 Talisman Seals. I want to see how many talismans you have. Lin Kuan's attack was blocked, but he was neither fast nor slow. This brat's strength was too weak. Although a 6th grade talisman could block his attack, how many 6th grade talismans could he have? Do you want it? There are plenty of them. Yang Hanwu sneered. As a talisman master, a 6th grade talisman master, even if the number of talismans was few, the number was beyond his imagination. One talisman after another was thrown out. All of a sudden, the entire space was filled with all kinds of attacks. They were colorful, just like fireworks. Lin Kuan was flustered. Although his cultivation had already reached the peak of the primordial spirit first step, he was still in a sorry state when he used so many 6th grade talismans. How is it? Do you want more? Looking at Lin Kuan's embarrassing appearance, Yang Hanwu couldn't help but laugh. This bastard, relying on his identity as a true disciple of the Kunlun Academy, he was so arrogant that he even dared to ask for the blood yuan grass. How shameless. If he didn't teach him a lesson, he wouldn't know the immensity of heaven and earth. Good, very good. You're the one who forced me to do this. Brat, I'm going to skin you alive today. Lin Kuan's eyes were bloodshot. Demonic Dragon Battle Body, activate. Black scales grew all over Lin Kuan's body. Dragon scales. It was actually the demonic dragon. His eyes were crimson red and flashed with a crazed killing intent. It had a pair of black horns on its head, the horns of the demonic dragon. The demonic dragon's horn, is this the demonic dragon's horn? A child's voice rang out from Yang Hongwu's divine dwellings. Yang Hongwu shuddered. The voice in his divine dwellings came from the dragon egg, the golden dragon egg. Yang Hongwu was dumbfounded. He hadn't expected the dragon egg in his sea of consciousness to be able to make a sound. This situation was truly unbelievable. What are you spacing out for? Hurry up and run, the voice said. Yang Hanwu came back to his senses. Seeing Lin Kuan's claw coming over, he quickly dodged. Dragon soaring in the 9 heavens. His whole body turned into several dragon shadows, dodging this claw. Clang! A deep scratch mark appeared on the ground. Yang Hanwu felt a chill run down his spine. If he was scratched, he would be seriously injured even if he didn't die. At this moment, Jing Qiushuang also launched her attack. The treasured sword in her hand danced continuously. Sword shadows enveloped the area, flickering with cold qi. Open! Lin Kuan roared angrily and struck out with his claw. Jing Qiushuang's body flew out like a kite with a broken string. Yang Hanwu crushed a teleportation talisman and hugged Jing Qiushuang. Then he fed her a medicinal pill and sent her into his immortal pagoda. Where is he? Wow, there's actually a spatial treasure that can store living people. Seeing that Jing Qiushuang had disappeared, Lin Kuan's eyes flashed with greed. I didn't expect my luck to be so good today. A mere tier 6 spiritual herb is nothing. As long as I can catch you, that will be my greatest gain. You want to catch me? He. Yang Hanwu mocked, you're still far from it. Don't think that you're so great just because you're a first step primordial spirit realm. I'll let you know who you can't afford to offend. Kunlun Academy is nothing in my eyes. 9 Dragons Sacred Body, open. Battle Spirit Possession. Mystic Dragon 9 Transformations, open. Titan Art, unleash your full strength. Open. Full Power Explosion. Yang Hanwu roared and exploded his strength. This was the first time in a long time that Yang Hanwu had gone all out. It had been a long time since he had gone all out. Suppressing it in his heart, he was still pissed. Divine Dragon Demon Suppression Talisman, suppress. A golden talisman flew out and turned into a divine dragon. It spat out a golden word, suppress. The demonic dragon combat body belonged to the demonic race. It also belonged to the dragons and had the bloodline of dragons. No matter what kind of dragons they would be suppressed in front of the 9 Dragons Sacred Body. 9 Dragons Sacred Body, you actually have the 9 Dragons Sacred Body. Talisman treasure, how do you have so many treasures? They're all mine. As long as I devour your combat body and seize the 9 dragons' sacred body and the talisman treasure, I'll be able to soar. When that happens, I'll be able to break through to the primordial spirit realm. By then, I'll be the ruler of the entire ancient wilderness. No one will be able to defeat me. Although his cultivation was suppressed, Lin Kuan wasn't afraid. Instead, his eyes flashed with madness. The 9 dragons' sacred body. This guy actually had the 9 dragons' sacred body. It was the strongest combat body among the dragons. A sacred body was countless times stronger than an immoral body. If Yang Hongwu's cultivation had reached the half-step primordial spirit realm, Lin Kuan wouldn't have faced him and would have run away. However, he was just a Violet Mansion realm guy. He hadn't even reached the arcane embryo realm. Now that his aura and cultivation had increased, it was obvious that he had used a secret technique to increase his cultivation. There was a limit to such an increase. His strength was strong, but it couldn't be sustained for long. Moreover, he was only at the arcane embryo realm. He wasn't even at the half-step primordial spirit realm. He was already at the first-step primordial spirit realm. Coupled with the activation of the demonic dragon combat body, his strength had increased tremendously. Unless it was someone at the third-step primordial spirit realm, they wouldn't be a match for him. Come here. Demonic dragon devours the sky. Lin Kuan stretched out his dragon claws and formed a black vortex in front of him. The vortex released a terrifying suction force that sucked everything in the surroundings into the vortex and turned them into dust. The vortex was like a small black hole. It was extremely terrifying. The strong suction force made Yang Hongwu's expression change. He had unleashed his full strength, but there was still a big gap between them. Omnidirectional killing fist. Kill, kill, kill. Yang Hongwu opened his eyes and punched out with both his fists. One after another, terrifying killing gods descended. They were invincible. Anyone who stood in their way would be killed. They would turn the world upside down. They would make rivers of blood flow and mountains of corpses and seas of bones. It was like Azura hell. The terrifying killing intent condensed into an Azura demon god. It was extremely terrifying. Good, good. You even cultivated the omnidirectional killing fist. This is the cultivation technique that suits me the most. The omnidirectional killing fist uses killing to enter the path, killing to become a demon. Demonic dragon, demonic dragon. Ha ha ha, I'll surpass the demonic dragon body. I'll be the true demonic dragon. Lin Kuan went crazy. The might of the demonic dragon was unparalleled in the 9 heavens and 10 earths. Lin Kuan had always looked up to the demonic dragon as his role model. It was a pity that his combat body was the demonic dragon body and not the legendary demonic dragon body or 9 dragons' sacred body. Chapter 255. The Might of the Dragon Egg. Damn it. Yang Hongwu resisted the terrifying suction force. The 10-direction killing fist was only able to block it for a short while. You can't block it. Although the 10-direction killing fist is powerful, your cultivation is too weak. You're too weak. The dignified demonic dragon body is a waste on you. You don't deserve to have such a bloodline. Give it to me. Let me achieve the might of the demonic dragon. Let me surpass the demonic dragon and become a supreme legend. Lin Kuan laughed wildly. You want my bloodline? Are you going to accompany me? You're just a worm and a black loach. Do you really think you're a dragon? Yang Hongwu sneered. You're courting death. Lin Kuan roared, I'm going to swallow you alive. After saying that, Lin Kuan's body changed again. His body began to squirm. In an instant, his entire body underwent an astonishing transformation. He turned into a black dragon. This black dragon looked a little strange, but its eyes were filled with an evil and destructive aura. This black dragon opened its mouth and bit towards Yang Hongwu. Damn it. Its speed was too fast. Yang Hongwu felt that he couldn't dodge in time. Moreover, a powerful suction force came from that big mouth, making Yang Hongwu feel that he couldn't escape. Yin Yang double revolution, Yin Yang great millstone, crush for me. Yang Hanwu roared. He raised both his hands and the power of Yin and Yang erupted, forming a huge millstone. This huge millstone was constantly rotating, facing the black dragon's huge mouth. The Yin Yang great millstone formed by the power of Yin and Yang started to rotate crazily. It hit the big mouth, causing a huge explosion. A terrifying energy burst out and a terrifying impact occurred on the ground. A huge crater appeared on the ground where Yi Xuan was standing. Yang Hanwu was sent flying for dozens of meters. Lin Kuan's black dragon body was also forced back a few steps, but only a few steps. The difference was too great. Good, this is a bit interesting. You're only at the Purple Mansion realm, yet you're able to force me to this extent. Not bad, too powerful. As expected of the demonic dragon body. This is the true power of the demonic dragon body. It didn't disappoint me. The black dragon that Lin Kuan had transformed into turned into a black shadow and quickly swept towards Yang Hanwu. It was like a gust of wind, fast, too fast. Yang Hanwu had just crawled up when he felt a terrifying force enveloping him. He was unable to move at all. I'm dead. I'm dead this time. Yang Hanwu was horrified to discover that he couldn't even use the talisman. Without a way to use the talisman, he couldn't teleport out or use the talisman to call for help. Am I going to die here? Yang Hanwu felt a little sorrowful. To think that he was going to die like this. His mission had yet to be completed. He had yet to become the strongest expert of the ancient desolate continent. He had yet to return to the Sky Dragon sect. He had yet to kill Zetian. He had yet to marry Hu Shou'er. There was also Hua Wuying. He had yet to go to the ancient domain to find Hua Wuying. More importantly, he had yet to take revenge on Yuji. He had yet to ruthlessly ravage her to the point that she couldn't get out of bed. Just when Yang Hanwu thought that he was going to die, the dragon egg in his divine palace moved. The dragon egg emitted a golden light. Wherever the golden light went, the demonic chi emitted by the black demonic dragon dissipated. It was like ice and snow coming into contact with scorching hot lava. It quickly melted away. No, how is this possible? What is this? Damn it, what else do you have in your body? Lin Kuan cried out in horror and kept retreating. However, the golden light didn't let him go. It turned into a golden net and enveloped Lin Kuan's demonic dragon body. How could Yang Hanwu let go of such a good opportunity? After regaining his freedom, Yang Hanwu's eyes flashed with a bright light. Since he couldn't die, it was time for Lin Kuan to die. Demonic dragon war body, demonic dragon phenomenon, demonic dragon bloodline. So what? He had the 9 dragons saint body and cultivated the dragon soul, devour the heavens. It was destined to be his tonic. Dragon soul devour the heavens, devour for me. A golden dragon soul appeared above Yang Hanwu's head. The dragon soul roared, opened its mouth and bit down on the black demonic dragon. Bite after bite. Immediately, the black demonic dragon screamed miserably as it was bitten. Pieces of its flesh were devoured by the golden dragon soul. The flesh that was devoured turned into pure energy and integrated into Yang Hanwu's body. His divine palace. Yang Hanwu's divine palace continued to rise. After a dozen breaths, the demonic dragon war body was completely devoured by Yang Hanwu's dragon soul. Yang Hanwu felt that he was full of energy. Divine palace breakthrough. 10th level. Perfect 10th level. His divine palace had broken through and reached the perfect 10th level. He was only one step away from condensing a primordial spirit. Yang Hanwu was overjoyed. This was great. This was really a huge surprise. If it weren't for this and Lin Kuan's contribution, he didn't know how long it would take for him to break through to the perfect 10th level of the divine palace. But now, he had achieved it in such a short time. He was only one step away from condensing a primordial spirit. Once his primordial spirit was condensed, his strength would increase by several times. He would be able to fight against mysterious embryo realm and half-step primordial spirit realm experts. No, he would even be able to kill a first-step primordial spirit realm expert. The power of the primordial spirit was unimaginable. There was a world of difference between having the power of the primordial spirit and not having it. Bushualian was able to become the strongest true teaching elder in the Tianyi Academy because she had the power of the primordial spirit. This was something that other fourth-step primordial spirit realm experts did not have. The power of the primordial spirit was the symbol of stepping into the primordial spirit realm. Fourth-step primordial spirit realm experts were only in the pseudo-primordial spirit realm. Without the power of the primordial spirit, they were nothing. Lin Kuan's battle physique and bloodline had been devoured by Yang Hongwu. The battle physique vision had turned into pure consciousness power and enhanced Yang Hongwu's divine palace. Therefore, Lin Kuan had been crippled and his cultivation level was constantly dropping. From the second-step primordial spirit realm, his aura kept dropping until he reached the purple mansion realm. You devoured my battle physique and bloodline. You devoured my battle physique vision. You will die a horrible death. Lin Kuan had never thought that such a terrifying thing would appear in his body when he had the upper hand and was only one step away from devouring his opponent. The golden light had directly suppressed his demonic qi and trapped him, rendering him unable to move. If he had known that there was such a terrifying thing in his body, he would never have tried to attack Yang Hongwu. But it was too late for regrets. There was no medicine for regret in this world. One had to pay the price for doing something wrong. But this price was too great for Lin Kuan. As one of the 5 true disciples of the Kunlun Immortal Abode, he had a high status and a bright future ahead of him. But he had never thought that he would die in the Morning Soul Mountains. The Morning Soul Mountains and the Morning Soul Mountains lived up to their reputation. Countless geniuses had died here, and he was going to die here too. Chapter 256. Horn of the Mystic Dragon. You can't accept it, right? Yang Hongwu stepped on his face and sneered, you think you're the best in the world? What a piece of trash. A first-step primordial soul realm cultivator, but he was still defeated by a purple palace realm cultivator like me. If it weren't for the mysterious power in your body, would you still be able to talk to me? Lin Kuan glared at Yang Hongwu. Luck is also a kind of strength. Yang Hongwu said with a look of disdain, a loser is a loser. The winner is the king and the loser is the bandit. Hand over all your things. Everything. Don't waste my time. Although you've defeated me, you're dreaming if you want my things. Is that so? Yang Hongwu sighed. Why don't you believe me? I'll have to do it myself. Yang Hongwu lifted Lin Kuan up and pointed at Lin Kuan's body. Lin Kuan immediately felt as if his entire body was being bitten by countless ants. I'll give you some sweetness first. As for the things, I'll find them myself. Yang Hongwu searched for a while and found Lin Kuan's storage ring. Yang Hongwu didn't feel too much pressure to crack these storage rings. Ever since he had cultivated the Spirit Refining Heart Sutra and obtained the Fortune Pill scripture, it had become easier for him to break the restrictions and break the storage rings. Besides, he had already crippled Lin Kuan's cultivation and constitution. It would not be difficult for him to break the seal on the ring. Yang Hongwu used the power of his spiritual sense to simulate the yin-yang Great Millstone and formed a Great Millstone to erase Lin Kuan's imprint on the ring. Lin Kuan's body shook, and he spat out another mouthful of blood. He couldn't believe that his spiritual imprint was so easily destroyed. Even though his body and bloodline had been destroyed, he was still alive. Also, take out the demonic dragon's horn. Don't force me to make a move. You know the consequences. Yang Hongwu said coldly. At this moment, Lin Kuan was still suffering from the intense itching pain all over his body. Lin Kuan was also a character, a powerful character. He was actually able to endure that kind of itching pain. This really made Yang Hongwu have a whole new level of respect for him. Lin Kuan's expression changed again. The demonic dragon's horn was his biggest secret. Even his own father didn't know about it, so how did he know? How did you know that I have the devil dragon's horn? You originally had the black snake battle body, right? Yang Hanwu asked. The reason why you have the devil dragon body is because of the devil dragon horn. Lin Quan originally wanted to cover it up, but after hearing these words, Lin Quan knew that he wouldn't be able to pass this hurdle. He originally thought that with the demonic dragon's horn, he could rise again. However, he actually knew the secret of the demonic dragon's horn. Moreover, he knew so much about it. How could he hide it? How about we make a deal? Lin Quan took a deep breath and endured the itching pain. He gritted his teeth and dug his fingers into the flesh of his palm. Yang Hanwu was a little curious. What kind of deal was he going to make with him? He pointed his finger and withdrew the genuine qi that was planted in Lin Quan's body. What kind of deal do you want to make with me? You want me to let you go? However, you should know that I am determined to get the devil dragon's horn. I won't leave it to you. Yang Hanwu wanted the longevity pond's water. That thing was very rare. He got a drop from Mu Jitian, but it was far from enough. Though it only had a trace of green. If he wanted that wood to germinate and grow, it would take more than a drop or two. It was too difficult to find it by himself. The 4 great academies must have it. The Celestial Academy had it. He still had a way to get the longevity pond's water. However, the Kunlun Academy, the Celestial Academy, and the other academies were a little troublesome. Anyway, Lin Quan had been turned into a waste. It was fine to make use of a waste. Yang Hanwu, do you want your 9 dragon saint body to be exposed? At this time, Hua Qianshua's voice sounded in Yang Hongwu's mind. Yang Hongwu's body trembled. Damn it, he had almost forgotten about this. Lin Quan's body trembled. His mind was damaged. Yang Hanwu looked at Lin Quan, his eyes flashing coldly. Damn, this bastard. He actually had a mind secret technique. He had unknowingly fallen into his trap. If he let him go and exposed his 9 dragon saint body, things would be bad. At that time, he would really become the enemy of the whole world. His current strength had not reached the point where he could become the enemy of the whole world. Lin Quan, you really surprised me. Under such circumstances, you can still use a mind technique. I almost fell into your trap. Yang Hanwu slapped Lin Quan's face. Kill me if you have the guts. Don't even think about getting the demonic dragon's horn. Lin Quan knew that he was going to die. 9 dragon saint body. This guy had the 9 dragon saint body. He would definitely not let him go. The 9 dragon saint body was the body of the demonic dragon. Once the news got out, he would become the enemy of the whole world. If it were him, it would be impossible for him to let others know such a secret of his. Dead people were the best choice. I can find the demonic dragon's horn myself. Do you have any last words? Yang Hongwu's eyes shot out a terrifying light. He might not be able to find the demonic dragon's horn, but someone could. It was the dragon egg. The dragon egg in his spiritual abode could clearly sense the existence of the demonic dragon's horn. After refining the demonic dragon's horn, his strength could be further improved, and his 9 dragon saint body would be upgraded. Every upgrade of the 9 dragon saint body was very difficult. But every time it was upgraded, there would be a huge change. His strength would undergo a tremendous change. After the yin-yang second transformation, his 9 dragon saint body had reached a bottleneck. If he could get the demonic dragon's horn this time, there would definitely be a huge improvement. Can you tell me your name? Until now, Lin Quan still didn't know who he had fallen into. He was somewhat unwilling and sullen. He was one of the 5 great true disciples of the Kunlun Academy, a super genius. But he had died in the hands of a nobody. This feeling was uncomfortable, really uncomfortable. He was proud and arrogant, and it was more uncomfortable than death. Are these your last words? Then I will fulfill your wish. Remember, my name is Yang Hanwu. When you complain to the netherworld, don't get the wrong person. With that, Yang Hanwu stretched out his hand and grabbed Lin Quan's neck. With a twist, a crack was heard. Lin Kuan's neck was crooked, and he lost his breath. Heavenly Dipper Thunder Formation, open. Yang Hanwu opened the formation plate that he had obtained from Bujitian and threw out the Divine Dragon Demon Suppression Talisman to prevent the demonic dragon's horn from escaping. The demonic dragon's horn was a spiritual object. Although it was not as good as an immortal weapon, it had surpassed the existence of a celestial weapon. Such a spiritual object had its own intelligence. When it encountered danger, it would never sit still and wait for death. Chapter 257. Ichi Sen Ching, it would be too embarrassing if I let you run away. Yang Hanwu moved his hand and shot out a series of hand seals. The entire Heavenly Dipper lightning transformation array was activated, and bolts of lightning bombarded the demonic dragon's horn. The demonic dragon's horn charged around, trying to escape from the bombardment, but in the end, it couldn't. Yang Hanwu reached out and grabbed the demonic dragon's horn. This time, Yang Hanwu grabbed the demonic dragon horn. The powerful demonic chi made Yang Hanwu tremble. At this time, a gentle aura came from the dragon egg, purifying the demonic energy on the demonic dragon's horn bit by bit, turning it into the purest energy. Yang Hanwu refined and absorbed the energy. His cultivation base improved bit by bit, and his physical body was constantly strengthened. Yang Hanwu stood motionless. 2 hours passed. 4 hours passed. The demonic dragon horn weakened little by little, becoming smaller and smaller. 20 hours later, Yang Hanwu abruptly opened his eyes. His aura had a drastic increase as his cultivation broke through to the 8th level of the Purple Mansion realm. Although his divine dwelling hadn't broken through, it had been consolidated, and a trace of the power of the primordial spirit had been produced. This was a good start. The birth of the power of the primordial spirit, although it was only a trace, meant that he was not far from condensing the primordial spirit. I didn't expect to break through 2 levels. Yang Hanwu exhaled a mouthful of turbid air. The greatest benefit of the demonic dragon horn was not that he had broken through 2 levels, but that it had strengthened his physical body once again. His meridians and bones had all been strengthened. If he wanted to strengthen his physical body, he could only do it when he dual cultivated with a pure and immortal physique. Moreover, it would only be beneficial to his physical body if he dual cultivated for the first time. This time, he didn't expect that refining the demonic dragon's horn would bring him such great benefits. This was something that even Yang Hanwu didn't expect. Yang Hanwu collected his surprise and turned his attention to Lin Kuan. This Lin Kuan was quite a character. Bury him. Then, he checked his storage ring to see what was inside. Inside the ring, a jade slip caught Yang Hanwu's attention. Originally, after Yang Hanwu refined the demonic dragon's horn, he didn't care about other things. Inside the ring, there were some spirit stones, medicinal pills, and so on. Yang Hanwu didn't care about them. Medicinal pills and spirit stones were not of much help to his cultivation. He had medicinal pills that he could refine on his own, and he had quite a few spirit stones as well. However, the jade slip was a very rare thing. Generally, if the information was imprinted into the jade slip, it would definitely not be something simple. Furthermore, the restriction on this jade slip was very simple and unadorned. This was enough to attract Yang Hanwu's attention. However, what Yang Hanwu was curious about was that Lin Kuan didn't seem to keep the good stuff in his storage ring. Instead, he kept the jade slip inside. What kind of jade slip is this? Let's see what's recorded inside. Yang Hanwu's curiosity was aroused and he took the jade slip in his hand. He tried to break the seal on the jade slip with the force of his spiritual sense, but he found that his spiritual sense had no way to break through the seal. This restriction didn't seem to be that simple. Once, twice. After a few times, the restriction on the jade slip still didn't move. This made Yang Hanwu even more curious. This jade slip is not simple. Yang Hanwu failed several times, so he could only use his last resort, the restriction-breaking pill. There were still some restriction-breaking pills left. Yang Hanwu took out a restriction-breaking pill. When the restriction breaking pill touched the restriction on the jade slip, the restriction suddenly emitted a burst of light. The light became softer and softer, dimmer and dimmer. After a while, the light dissipated. The restriction had been broken. What is it? It's so mysterious and has such a powerful restriction. Yang Hanwu carefully picked up the jade slip. His spiritual sense entered the jade slip and read the information inside. The information turned into pictures and poured into Yang Hanwu's mind. There was a lot of information. The force of the primordial spirit filled Yang Hanwu's head. The force of the primordial spirit made him dizzy and painful. His head felt like it was being smashed open. It wasn't a fun feeling. After a dozen breaths, the force of the primordial spirit was completely absorbed by Yang Hanwu. He felt that he could almost condense a primordial spirit. His spiritual dwelling had expanded a lot and was wider than his dantian. Moreover, the force of the primordial spirit had become purer. If he wanted, Yang Hanwu could condense a primordial spirit at any time. Of course, Yang Hanwu knew that this was just an illusion. It wasn't a good thing to break through too quickly. How could it be so easy to condense a primordial spirit? However, after being tempered by the force of the primordial spirit in the jade slip, his primordial spirit would be much stronger than an ordinary primordial spirit. When Yang Hanwu sorted out the information in the jade slip, he was shocked. It took him a long time to come back to his senses. The things inside really shocked Yang Hanwu. It was not inferior to the creation pill scripture and the divine talisman technique. This was a cultivation method that was definitely worth a lot of money. Yang Hanwu even suspected that this cultivation method, no, it should be a secret method, was not inferior to the 9 transformation yin-yang harmony art that he cultivated. 1 chi into 3 pure ones. Damn, is this real? Yang Hanwu was even more shocked when he took a closer look. 1 chi into 3 pure ones. That was the cultivation method of Taishan Laojun. Could there be Taishan Laojun and 3 pure ones in this world? However, if there was by Qi, the killing god, it didn't seem impossible for there to be a Taishan Laojun or a Taishan sage. Anyway, he could accept it. If this was really the 1 chi into 3 pure ones cultivated by Taishan Laojun, then it would be really awesome. Cultivation. I have to cultivate now. I have to start cultivating now. Yang Hanwu sat down with his legs crossed. He activated his consciousness and started cultivating. The power of his consciousness triggered the power of his primordial spirit. Boom! Yang Hanwu's body shook and his mind was shaken. A trace of blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth. Backlash. I actually suffered a backlash. Could it be that I can't cultivate this peerless secret method? When Yang Hanwu rested for a while and took a closer look, he realized that he had been too anxious. The 1 chi into 3 pure ones secret method required one to have a primordial spirit and cultivate the power of the primordial spirit. 1 chi into 3 pure ones was actually the first, second, and third primordial spirits. 3 primordial spirits and 3 doppelgangers. Moreover, the most powerful thing was that the 3 doppelgangers could be combined. Yang Hanwu was secretly shocked. The strength of the 3 doppelgangers was definitely not to be underestimated. Once cultivated, the 3 doppelgangers could all cultivate. With the original body as the main body and the 3 doppelgangers as support. Moreover, they would not interfere with each other. That would be equivalent to having 4 times the combat strength. Just thinking about it was terrifying. If the 3 doppelgangers, together with the original body, worked together with the formation, how terrifying would the power be? It was not as simple as 1 plus 1. Chapter 258. Chapter 258. To unburden one's heart. It was a pity that his strength was still lacking by a little bit. Although it was just a little bit away from breaking through and condensing a Yuan spirit in the divine dwelling, this step was difficult. It was likely more difficult than going from the first level to the peak of the 10th level. He was just 1 step away from the door, but it was difficult to cross it. However, Yang Hanwu was full of confidence. There was absolutely no big problem in this round. He could definitely pass it. If he couldn't even complete this breakthrough, then how could he break through to the real primordial spirit realm and kill Zetian? How could he travel unhindered under the heavens and gallop through the 9 heavens? Be careful. This place is full of dangers. Divine sense is not very useful here, Hua Qinshue said. Yes. Yang Hanwu nodded. The power of his consciousness was indeed restricted, and so was the power of his primordial spirit. It was indeed a little strange here. Fortunately, he had an immortal weapon, a divine dragon demon suppressing talisman, and a dragon egg. However, what Yang Hanwu was curious about was why Lin Quan was in the Morning Soul Mountain Range. The Morning Soul Mountain Range was a place where ordinary people did not dare to enter. As for a genius like Lin Quan, he was even more unwilling to enter this place. Could it be that something big had happened in the Morning Soul Mountain Range? Or did something big happen? Or perhaps some great treasure had appeared? Humans die for wealth and birds die for food. If there was nothing that could make them risk their lives to come here, then a genius like Lin Quan would definitely not appear here. However, before their eyes, Lin Quan had actually appeared here. There was only one explanation for his presence in the Morning Soul Mountain Range. Something that was worth their risk had appeared in the Morning Soul Mountain Range. Yang Hanwu entered the Immortal Pagoda's space first. At this time, Jin Qiushuang's injuries were much better. Husband, what is this place? Jin Qiushuang was quite surprised. She had thought that the rock, the illusionary cloud rat, and the others were all in Yang Hanwu's war pet space. She didn't expect to be there too. Obviously, this was not the war pet space. Yang Hanwu said, "This is one of my greatest secrets. This is the inner space of an immortal artifact." Immortal artifact? Jin Qiushuang's eyes widened. She almost couldn't believe her ears. That was an immortal artifact, not an earth artifact or heaven artifact. Even the 4 great academies didn't have an immortal artifact. How could Jin Qiushuang not be shocked? Some time ago, he had heard that the aura of an immortal weapon had appeared in the ancient desolate continent. That was the 9 heavens mysterious tower. Could it be that this was the 9 heavens mysterious tower? Husband, is this the 9 heavens mysterious tower? How do you know? When Yang Hanwu heard this, he was also a little surprised. She actually knew. Of course I do. Some time ago, some powerful forces, including the 4 great immortal palaces and the 7 great sects, sensed the aura of an immortal item in the direction of the Heavenly Dragon sect, but they were unable to find any trace of it. I didn't expect that my husband would get it. Jin Qiushuang looked at her man with admiration. That was an immortal weapon. With an immortal weapon in hand, it was only a matter of time before he ascended to the ancient region. Moreover, with an immortal weapon in hand, it was almost impossible to kill Yang Hanwu even if one's cultivation was much higher than him. You can't tell anyone about the immortal weapon, not even to the people closest to you. Do you understand? Yang Hanwu said in a serious tone. Yang Hanwu trusted Jin Qiushuang a lot. She was his woman, and she would never betray him. However, it was hard to say about other people. For example, Jin Qiushuang's sect, parents, etc. If they knew about it, they would definitely think of ways to seize the immortal weapon. Jin Qiushuang nodded and said, "Husband, don't worry. I will definitely not tell anyone. I swear to the heavens." No need. Seeing that Jin Qiushuang was about to swear, Yang Hanwu quickly stopped her and said, "You are my woman. How can I not believe you?" "No, I have to swear." Jin Qiushuang insisted on swearing. "This matter is very important. I can't lose the big picture for the small. Although I will definitely not tell anyone about it, I still have to be prepared. My master, she has many methods. Only by swearing an oath will I be restricted. Only then will I not reveal this secret," Jin Qiushuang said. Jin Qiushuang's action made Yang Hanwu incomparably touched. He hugged her tightly. At this moment, there was no need for words. Silence spoke louder than words. "Oh right, let me introduce you to another person. Yang Hanwu called out Hua Qinxue. This is also husband's woman. Which sister is she? Jing Qiushuang was very surprised when she saw Hua Qinxue. This woman had an extraordinary temperament. This temperament made Jing Qiushuang feel ashamed of her inferiority. She is Hua Qinxue. If it wasn't for her help, I wouldn't have the current realm. She is one of my most important women. Yan Hanwu said. Sister Qiushuang, hello. Hua Qinxue stretched out her hand and said, I am Yan Hanwu's battle spirit. I am a spiritual body. Battle spirit? Sister Qinxue, you are a spiritual body? Yes. Hua Qinxue nodded. The two of them suddenly chatted enthusiastically. However, Yan Hanwu was thrown aside. Shuang you and Qinxue stay here and cultivate well. Try to break through as soon as possible. Yan Hanwu said. No, I want to be with you. It is too dangerous outside. One more person means one more strength. Jing Qiushuang shook her head and said. Yang Hanwu knew that Jing Qiushuang would say this. Hence, he said, Shuang you don't have to worry. Qinxue will help me. The most important thing for you now is to break through as soon as possible. Only then can you help me. Jing Qiushuang recalled what happened just now. Facing Lin Quan, she couldn't help at all. Instead, she became a burden. If it wasn't for her, Yang Hanwu could have used the lesser teleportation talisman to escape. However, because of her, Yang Hanwu probably paid a huge price. He might have used the greater teleportation talisman. I am sorry, husband. I am too useless. Jing Qiushuang said. No, no. It is just that the enemy is too powerful. If it wasn't for you, I might have exploded and died. Yang Hanwu said, you are very powerful. You are one of the most important women in my life. You have to be confident. Yes, I will definitely become stronger. I will break through to the fourth step of the primordial spirit realm soon. At that time, I can really help you. Jing Qiushuang nodded. Chapter 259. Delusion breaker Yan Hanwu went ahead alone and threw the illusory cloud rat out. This fellow was very vigilant and fast. It was indeed a good choice to use it as a scout. Master, there's no danger ahead. There's only a small beast, the illusory cloud rat said, shaking its head as it scurried to Yang Hanwu's shoulder. Little beast? What little beast? This illusory cloud rat was not very reliable. Usually, the little beasts it mentioned were not weak. Some of them were even at the peak of level 6. This time, it really is a little beast. The illusory cloud rat said, it's not even as big as me, so of course it's a small beast. Its strength isn't that great either. If that's the case, then go and kill that little beast. I'll leave the glorious mission to you. Hearing this, Yang Hanwu's eyes kept rolling. It must have suffered. How could a small beast that could make the illusion cloud rat suffer? How could it be simple? When the illusory cloud rat heard that, it pulled a long face and wagged its tail. It looked at Yang Hanwu and said, Master, it's not that I don't want to teach him a lesson. It's that little beast. I feel scared just looking at it. When Yang Hanwu heard this, he was startled. What kind of savage beast was this? Even the illusion cloud rat felt apprehensive when looking at this little beast. Could it be a level 7 savage beast? Could it be that this place was also not restricted by the laws? If that was the case, things would be a little troublesome. It was no wonder it was called the Morning Soul Mountain Range if there were savage beasts above grade 7 that were not restricted by the rules. Yang Hanwu became cautious. He stared at the illusory cloud rat and said, Tell me honestly, what kind of savage beast is it? It's a cat. The illusory cloud rat stroked its whiskers helplessly and said in frustration, It's just a white kitten. It's only level 5. It's just, hearing the illusion cloud rat's words, Yang Hanwu felt relieved. Although Zhang Tai didn't know what kind of species this illusory cloud rat was and where it came from, it was able to set up a level 7 illusory cloud formation. However, it was still a rat, and rats had a natural fear of cats. Therefore, it was not surprising that it would be so scared when encountering a level 5 cat-type savage beast. You're so embarrassing. Didn't you say you're a venerable beast? How could an old cat scare you like this? Shameful, truly shameful. Yang Hanwu couldn't help but be amused as he joked. This scoundrel was usually arrogant and despotic. If he didn't teach it a lesson, it would become incomparably arrogant. Sometimes, it even dared to tease him. It's nothing. Allergy? Allergy, he, it. That. It. He. Yang. Beast. Scared? Didn't you say it was just a cat? If you're afraid of a cat and don't even dare to look at it, how can you be a venerable beast? Yan Hanwu said. Let's go. I'm not afraid. I'm a venerable beast. When I show my power, it will definitely kneel and beg for mercy. It will come to me and serve me. The illusory cloud rat immediately raised its head and strode forward. It was as arrogant as a general and was very pleased with itself. The cat is coming. Yang Hanwu suddenly said. Let it come. I'll make it kneel and beg for mercy. The illusion cloud rat said. Behind you. Yang Hanwu reminded it. You lied to me. Do you really think I'm afraid? The illusion cloud rat sneered. Suddenly, the illusion cloud rat's hair stood on end. It let out a sharp cry. Then, it turned into a shadow and went behind Yang Hanwu. Yang Hanwu grabbed it with one hand. He looked at the white cat. This cat is not simple. It's a delusion chinchilla. Hua Chinchua said, I didn't expect you to be so lucky to meet the legendary chinchilla here. Delusion chinchilla? The name sounded strange. Yang Hanwu said, what kind of savage beast is that? I've never heard of it. Is it powerful? Yang Hanwu had read all kinds of strange stories in the ancient desolate continent. However, he had never seen such a savage beast. The cat looked beautiful, but he couldn't see anything special about it. Of course it's powerful. It's a very powerful savage beast. The reason why it's called delusion chinchilla is because it has the blood of a dragon and the delusion eyes. Hua Chinchua said, look carefully at the cat's eyes. Do you see a faint shadow? A shadow like a real dragon? Yang Hanwu nodded, yes, I see it. The delusion chinchilla stared at Yang Hanwu without showing any hostility. Instead, it seemed to be close to Yang Hanwu, which surprised Yang Hanwu. Is it because I have the 9 dragon saint body? At this time, Hua Chinchua introduced, that pair of eyes is the delusion eyes, which can see through illusions. The illusion cloud rat is a special kind of rat that can use illusions to confuse its opponents. However, the delusion chinchilla is its biggest enemy. It can be said that the delusion chinchilla is the illusion cloud rat's natural enemy because the delusion eyes can restrain the illusion cloud rat. Therefore, even though the delusion chinchilla is only at level 5, it can still deal with the illusion cloud rat even if it's at level 4. The illusion cloud rat's biggest reliance is the illusion cloud rat. The delusion eyes, the delusion chinchilla. If I can tame it, won't it be of great help to me? Yang Hanwu looked at the chinchilla with sparkling eyes. Good heavens, it looks quite cute. Girls will like it very much. Wouldn't it be great if I can catch it and give it to Jingqiu Shuang as a pet? It's too difficult to catch the delusion chinchilla. It can see through your attacks, your intentions, and even your mind. Moreover, the delusion chinchilla has a spatial attribute. It can travel through space and move through space. It's much faster than your teleportation charm. Yang Hongwu's forehead was sweating when he heard that. It's too abnormal. It can read minds and teleport. It's really powerful. So, it's basically hopeless for me to catch it? That's a pity, Yang Hanwu said, since we can't catch it, there's no need to provoke it. Let's go. If they couldn't get it, there was no need to cause trouble. Little fellow, I'm sorry for disturbing you. Please forgive me. Yang Hanwu looked at the chinchilla. It seemed to be a level 5 savage beast. However, it was the first time he saw such a powerful chinchilla. It didn't hurt to apologize. Don't call me little fellow. I'm not little. A clear voice sounded in Yang Hanwu's mind. Yang Hanwu opened his eyes wide and looked at the delusion chinchilla. You can talk? Chapter 260. An ancient tomb. I've apologized to you. I'm going to leave now. I won't disturb you. Yang Hanwu didn't want to be entangled with this guy. This Totoro didn't put the illusory cloud rat in its eyes. It wasn't simple, and it could even talk. In this morning's Soul Mountain range, danger lurked everywhere. It was best not to get into trouble. Savage beasts below level 7 couldn't talk. This guy seemed to be level 5, but it might be level 7. If this guy went crazy, who knew what the consequences would be? Wait, where are you going? Aren't you looking for that big tomb? Totoro looked at Yang Hanwu and said, I can bring you there. It'll be much safer. Otherwise, you'll encounter a lot of danger. You're too weak, even though you have this rat to protect you. Looking for a big tomb? Yang Hanwu stopped when he heard that. Many people had come here to look for a big tomb? Was this Lin Kuan's purpose in entering the morning Soul Mountain range? Yes, aren't you? I saw that many humans who came and were looking for the big tomb. However, most of them will die on the way. Few people who really enter the big tomb can come out alive. Chinchilla said. Big tomb? Yang Hanwu squinted his eyes. This was a great opportunity. If he didn't go, he would be wasting a great opportunity. Yang Hanwu had always believed in his luck. Who's the tomb of that big tomb? Yang Hanwu knew that there might be a super expert's tomb in the morning Soul Mountain range. If he could get the inheritance of this super expert, it would be a piece of cake for him to roam the ancient wilderness. Of course, how could it be easy to break into the tomb of an expert? Traps, formations, restrictions, and so on. These were all fatal. If one was unlucky and didn't have enough strength, only death would await them. The stronger the expert, the more dangerous their tomb would be. Of course, the opportunities inside would also be greater, and the treasures inside would also be greater. She's an expert, a very powerful expert. The chinchilla said, very powerful. She can destroy the entire ancient desolate continent with a single breath. Yang Hanwu was secretly speechless. How could there be such a terrifying existence? Even the legendary gods did not have such terrifying strength. Are you kidding? Yang Hanwu said, in this world, how can there be such a terrifying almighty? It's a great emperor. Great emperor? I don't know either. There's only one piece of information. Yes, the great emperor. The great emperor is omnipotent. He has the power to destroy the world. Totoro said, I don't remember a lot of things. Maybe I can find my memories in that tomb. It's just that it's too dangerous inside, but I know you can go in. Chinchilla looked at Yang Hanwu. What do you think about this? Yang Hanwu secretly communicated with Hua Qianxue. This news was too shocking. Great Emperor, what level was a Great Emperor? Yang Hanwu had never heard of it. But the power to destroy the ancient desolate continent with a single breath, wasn't it too terrifying? What kind of terrifying power was that? It was simply appalling. This chinchilla is not an ordinary chinchilla. Chinchillas are very intelligent. It could be a trap. I don't recommend going with it. Hua Qianxue said. After all, this morning Soul Mountain was too strange. A little carelessness could bury one's bones here. Moreover, this chinchilla was too strange. It was too risky to go with this chinchilla to the so-called tomb. Are you worried that I will lie to you? The chinchilla looked at Yang Hanwu and said, Don't worry, I can swear a Heaven Dao blood oath. What are you hesitating for? This is a great opportunity. If you miss it, you will regret it for life. Think about it, a great emperor has the power to destroy the world. As long as you get a little benefit, it's enough to benefit you for life. If you can get the inheritance of this great emperor, it's even more amazing. Undeniably, this was too tempting. It was absolutely impossible for ordinary people to refuse. Even Yang Hanwu was tempted. Not good, there are humans coming. Suddenly, the chinchilla screamed and said to Yang Hanwu, "Go, go quickly. These people are not to be trifled with." At this time, Yang Hanwu's face changed greatly. These people were full of murderous aura and demonic chi. This demonic chi was not unfamiliar to him. He had encountered demonic chi in the Golden Dragon Dynasty. Once he encountered these people, he would definitely not have a good ending. Go! Yang Hanwu made a choice in an instant. These people were very strong. He was no match for them unless he used the Immortal Tower. But even if he used the Immortal Tower, Yang Hanwu was not absolutely sure that he could kill these guys. Using the Immortal Tower consumed a lot of energy. He could at most use it once. After that, his Shin Chi would be drained and there would be no possibility of a second battle. He might not be able to kill all the enemies, but he might get himself killed. That was not worth it. Although the Immortal Tool was powerful, it was risky to use it. He had to be cautious. Hurry up. The chinchilla said, "These are demonic cultivators. They are very cruel and powerful. You are far from being a match for them. Even I can't handle them. If you don't want to die, hurry up." Yang Hanwu had no choice but to follow the chinchilla. "Master, we can only follow this stinky cat now. Otherwise, we will really die here." The illusory cloud rat said, "Apart from the road in front, the surrounding area is surrounded by demonic cultivators." Yang Hanwu smiled bitterly. He was too unlucky. These demonic cultivators were probably here for the chinchilla. Or was it just a show put on by the chinchilla? One must always be vigilant. However, he could only blame himself for taking one step at a time. He did not want to be involved in such a whirlpool, but he still did. Although Yang Hanwu had already planned for this before entering the Morning Soul Mountains, he was still somewhat nervous when it really came. The chinchilla was very fast. It was so fast that it did not seem like a cat. Yang Hanwu used his body movement to the extreme to barely catch up. After Yang Hanwu and the chinchilla walked for more than 10 breaths, several men in black appeared at the place where Yang Hanwu and the chinchilla were. They were all tightly covered. "Damn it, we let that cat escape again. There is still the aura of a living person here. He is not old and his cultivation is not strong. He should not be above the mysterious embryo realm. I wonder which family this little thing is from. It actually dares to enter the Morning Soul Mountains." A man in black looked around and a cold light burst out from his eyes. "Chase, we must not let that chinchilla escape. It is the key to whether we can safely enter the tomb." Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Chapter 261. Underground River, hurry up, this way. Totoro shouted. Yang Hanwu sped up and followed Totoro into a cave. The cave was dark. After entering it, he felt a burst of shaking, and then he felt his body was falling rapidly. It was like sitting on a slide, but this speed was too fast. He estimated that this was the same feeling as a roller coaster. After a while, he fell into the water with a splash. Yang Hanwu climbed out of the water in a sorry state. His whole body was wet. Moreover, the water here was very cold, making Yang Hanwu shiver. Fu *K, as a 9-dragon saint body, he had never felt cold. The water here made him shiver. What kind of water was this? It's so cold. What the hell is this place? I'm freezing. The fantasy cloud rat jumped on Yang Hanwu's shoulder and shook the water stains on its body. "Master, take me back to the war pet space." "You want to go in?" Yes, it's too cold here." "No." Yang Hanwu shook his head. "Your master is suffering. You want to enjoy life? You wish." Can you let little Nine come out? The little Nine mentioned by the fantasy cloud rat was the Nine Frost centipede. It's not appropriate to let little Nine come out. Little Nine doesn't know as much as you. It's useless to come out. Who told you to know more? Yang Hanwu said, Don't talk nonsense, or I'll feed you to the cat. I won't eat it. Rat meat is not delicious at all. Look at it, its meat is probably sour. Totoro muttered, revealing the temper of a little girl. Yang Hanwu couldn't help but laugh. His mood relaxed a lot. Your meat is stinky. Your whole family stinks. Damn kitty, if you have the guts, fight me one-on-one. Hearing this, the fantasy cloud rat was angry. Its eyes widened, and it jumped on Yang Hanwu's head, staring at Totoro and provoking it. You want to fight me one-on-one? Totoro's clear voice sounded, Believe it or not, I will slap you to death. When the illusion cloud rat heard that, it lost its courage and said meekly, A good rat does not fight with a cat. This venerable beast won't lower himself to your level. Hearing this, Yang Hanwu and Hua Chinshua almost burst out laughing. A good mouse would not fight with a cat. Especially with this expression, it was simply too funny. Who are you calling a little cat? Okay, don't quarrel. Chinchilla, well, your name is Chinchilla. It's a bit awkward to call you that, Yang Hanwu said. My name is Mauer. Just call me Mauer, Totoro said. That's what my mother called me. What's your name? My name is Yang Hanwu. You can call me Big Brother Yan. Cat, don't lower yourself to this guy's level. First, tell me where this place is. Yang Hanwu looked at the cat and said, Why is the water here so cold? Shameless. Big Brother Yan? Don't you know that this little cat is much older than you? The illusion cloud rat muttered. Yang Hanwu pretended not to hear it and turned his head to look at the cat. Even with such a strong body, he could feel the coldness penetrating into his bone marrow. One must know that he was a nine-dragon's sacred body. The nine-dragon's sacred body was a physique of the purest yan. If it was someone else, they would have been frozen to death by this pool. Isn't this the place we are looking for? The cat said. Who are you? Is this the tomb? The tomb of the great emperor? Yang Hanwu was shocked. If this was the case, then it was not strange that the pool was so cold. No, this is just the periphery. The real entrance of the tomb has not yet arrived, the cat said. This is just the periphery? Yes, this is 100 miles away from the real entrance, the cat said. This is the safest passage to enter the tomb. The safest? That is to say, we will enter the tomb safely? Yang Hanwu was surprised. No. The cat shook her head. Mauer shook her head and said, Even if this passage is the safest, there will still be many dangers. How can it be so easy to enter the tomb of a supreme being? If we are not careful, we might die here. So, we must be careful. Yang Hanwu thought about it and agreed. If a supreme being's tomb was so easy to enter, then he would not be a supreme being. No matter who it was, they would not want to see their tomb being visited after their death. So, every supreme being would build a strong and sturdy tomb for themselves after their death so that they would not be unable to rest in peace after their death. Big Brother Yang, take some of the water here. It might be useful in the future. Take as much as you can, the cat said. Yang Hanwu took out a gourd. This gourd was originally a wine gourd. Yang Hanwu obtained it by accident and threw it in a storage ring. He had not used it before. Now, it came in handy. What kind of water is this? This water was originally ordinary water. But because the Supreme Being contained a trace of spirituality, it is so cold. The cat said, So, this water cannot be underestimated. In the ancient domain, many people want this water, but they are unable to obtain it even after racking their brains. After Yang Hanwu filled the gourd with water, he followed the cat and walked forward. This passage was an underground river. The water gurgled, but there were very few living things in the water. Be careful. There are some powerful fishes in this underground river. They taste very delicious, but they are very hard to catch. The cat said while walking. Is that so? Yang Hanwu was about to say something when a water arrow suddenly shot out from the side. Yang Hanwu quickly dodged. The water arrow hit the stone wall. Soon, a zzz sound came from the stone wall and a hole appeared. Yang Hanwu sucked in a mouthful of cold air. This is 2F** King dangerous. Yang Hanwu looked into the water and saw a black and white fish in the water. Its big eyes were emitting a faint red light. At this time, the cat stretched out its paw and patted the water. The black and white fish seemed to be bound by an invisible force. It was pulled out of the water and landed on the cat's paw. The fish kept twisting in the cat's paw, trying to escape. But how could the cat let it do as it wished? It patted heavily and the fish fainted. Big brother Yang Hanwu, these are the fishes. They are very delicious. The cat put the fish in front of Yang Hanwu as if it was a treasure. Yang Hanwu took the fish. He felt that the fish contained a shocking amount of spiritual qi. Moreover, it was very pure. It was yin and yang qi. He took a deep breath. This was very helpful to him. If he ate these fishes, his 9 transformation yin-yang art would be greatly improved. This was definitely great news for Yang Hanwu. Cat, what are these fishes called? Yang Hanwu asked. I don't know. The cat shook its head. These fishes are called 7th grade yin-yang fish. I have seen it in an ancient book. Hua Qianxue said, the book said that these yin-yang fish contain a huge amount of yin and yang energy. They can be used to refine 7th grade elixir, yin-yang golden pill. 7th grade elixir. Wasn't that equivalent to a 7th grade elixir? These fishes were really amazing. Yang Hanwu rolled his eyes. These yin-yang fish, he should catch a few more. They were very helpful to him. It would be a waste if he didn't catch them. Cat, are there many of these yin-yang fish in the river? Mauer shook her head and said, there aren't many of these fish in the river, only about 100 feet away. These fish all have their own territories. Just now, we entered its territory and launched an attack. Moreover, this fish isn't very powerful, it's just a very weak one. I've seen a very powerful big fish, it can go ashore, and even Mauer can do it. Chapter 262. Devouring with spirit essence. Let's catch some if we can. Yang Hanwu said. It would be a pity to waste such a good opportunity. If he could catch 80 to 100 of them, then his strength would probably be able to break through to the mysterious embryo realm. Alright. I like to eat them anyway. It would be great if we could feed them. Unfortunately, this is the only place that can raise them. Mauer said. Along the way, they would encounter attacks from the yin-yang fish from time to time. If they could catch them, they would catch them. If they couldn't beat them, they would run. Along the way, their harvest was not small. After about 4 hours, they finally came out of the underground river and saw the sun. Here, ancient trees towered into the sky. They were lush and full of vitality. What a paradise! Yang Hanwu couldn't help but sigh. This place seemed to be isolated from the world. The entire place was surrounded by ancient trees that towered into the clouds. Upon closer inspection, these ancient trees were quite shocking. They were all golden cedar wood. If placed outside, golden cedar wood would definitely be worth thousands of gold. It was an extremely precious wood that had many uses. Especially such a huge golden cedar wood, it was extremely rare. If we go through here, we will reach the entrance of the tomb. Mauer pointed at the golden cedarwood forest and said. How far is it? Looking at the golden cedarwood forest that towered into the clouds, Yang Hanwu frowned slightly. In this forest, only the heavens knew what existed. It was better to be careful. It's not far, less than 10 li, Mauer said, it's just that there are a few demon trees in this forest. You need to be careful. Demon trees? Yang Hanwu wasn't too worried about this. He had even seen the heaven climbing vine before. Why would he be afraid of demon trees? If the demon trees dared to appear, they could be used as nourishment for his wooden stick. Perhaps, it could make that wooden stick grow and sprout. That would be great. Other than the demon trees, there are no other dangers, right? Yang Hanwu asked. Mauer shook her head. The most powerful and troublesome ones here are the demon trees. These demon trees are not ordinary demon trees. In this entire forest, they can move, and their speed is very fast. They can mobilize all the trees in the forest to attack. There was once a big back bull at the peak of the 6th level that entered this forest, and in an instant, not even its bones were left. Yang Hanwu shuddered when he heard that. A peak level 6 big-backed bull was extremely powerful. Even a primordial soul realm 4th step warrior would not dare to provoke it. Its defense was amazing. When it charged, it was even more terrifying. It could even collapse a small mountain. In this forest, not even bones were left behind. Should he consider changing to another route? That terrifying. If that's the case, is there a second way? Yang Hanwu hesitated for a moment before asking. Hearing this, Hua Qinxue also did not recommend Yang Hanwu to take this dangerous path. If they really encountered them, they probably wouldn't be able to escape. No, this is the only way. Unless we go back the way we came, but if we go back, there's no way to go back through that slope. So, we can only go forward. Mauer shook her head. Little furry cat, are you trying to get us killed? The illusion cloud rat cried out at this moment. Shut up. Yang Hanwu glared at it, and the illusion cloud rat immediately shrank its head. Actually, Brother Yang, you don't have to worry. I can sense those demon trees. When they move over, we can just avoid them. Mauer said. Hearing this, Yang Hanwu heaved a sigh of relief. That was good. Before the demon trees dared to come, they could escape. There was no problem. All right, let's go then. A long night is fraught with problems. Yang Hanwu said. Master, don't think about it. I feel that it's very dangerous here. The illusion cloud rat said. This little furry cat might be trying to get you killed. You shut up. Do you have any other choice now? Even though Yang Hanwu did not want to enter this forest, there was no way out. Even if there was danger ahead, he had to go. The illusion cloud rat was speechless. Indeed, there was no way out. A man, a cat, and a rat walked towards the forest. Yang Hanwu realized that after he walked into the forest, some of the essence of the trees surged towards Yang Hanwu. To be more precise, it was surging towards the wooden stick in his spiritual abode. And after that wooden stick absorbed the essence of the trees, it became green and full of vitality. Holy sh*t, if this went on, it could germinate without the longevity pool. This was an unexpected surprise. And that was not the only surprise. After the wooden stick absorbed the essence of the gold cedar ancient wood, it even nourished Yang Hanwu. This was the purest spirit qi. It nourished Yang Hanwu's physical body continuously. Some of the hidden injuries that were left behind when he broke through were being healed continuously. Unexpected, too unexpected. His cultivation base was also increasing steadily. This was the best way to cultivate. It was even more comfortable and faster than cultivating in the Immortal Pagoda. He was about to break through. If this went on, he would be able to break through to the 8th level of the Purple Mansion realm soon. Big Brother Yang, you're amazing. You can actually absorb the essence of the wood spirit qi here. This is unbelievable. The cat opened its eyes wide and looked at Yang Hanwu in shock. It could not believe it. The essence of the wood spirit qi here was not that easy to absorb, unless it was those old tree demons. But even those tree demons could not be so unscrupulous. However, this was a little troublesome. Yang Hanwu taking the essence of the wood spirit qi here was equivalent to cutting off the flesh of the old tree demons. How could they let it go so easily? This is unbelievable. Master is too abnormal. The illusion cloud rat muttered to itself. Looking at its master, it was getting more and more mysterious and unbelievable. It thought that it knew enough, but it did not expect that he still had a trump card. And it was such a mysterious trump card. This master was indeed a person blessed by the heavens. Big Brother Yang, we have to leave quickly. Otherwise, it will be troublesome if those old tree demons come. You took their essence of the wood spirit chi, they will not let us go easily. The cat said anxiously. Okay, let's go. Yang Hanwu nodded. For Yang Hanwu, it was the same whether they left or not. As for absorbing the essence of the wood spirit chi, it was not something he could control. That wooden strip was very domineering. He had no ability to control it. Now that the wooden strip had occupied a place in his divine palace, there was no way to move it. This made Yang Hanwu worried. If this guy took over his divine palace and wanted to harm him, wouldn't that be a big problem? But at this point, it was useless to think too much. He could only hope that the wooden strip, the mysterious wooden strip, would not harm him. Yang Hanwu followed the cat and flew forward. At this time, there were several tree demons chasing after Yang Hanwu from all directions. Chapter 263. The domineering nameless wooden stick. Oh no, we have to hurry. They're catching up. Mao's face changed. She sped up. Yang Hanwu also sped up. He used Dragon Soars through the 9 heavens and rushed forward. Dragon Soars through the 9 heavens was only at the 5th level. Compared to Mao, his speed was much slower. Big Brother Yang, hurry up. They'll catch up soon. Mao saw Yang Hanwu's slow speed and urged him. Yang Hanwu smiled bitterly. He was already very fast. Golden Dragon War Body, activate. Mysterious Dragon 9 Transformations, 4th Transformation. Battle Spirit Possession. Yang Hanwu pushed his strength and speed to the limit. Oh no, it's too late. Mao's face changed. Just as she finished speaking, she saw a towering ancient tree appear in front of her. On top of the ancient tree, there was a huge face that looked very scary. Yang Hanwu only felt a green light shoot towards him. He wanted to take out a teleportation talisman and get ready to teleport away. But to Yang Hanwu's horror, he couldn't move at all. The green light was about to shoot between his eyebrows. He cried bitterly in his heart. Damn it, I'm going to die because of that wooden stick. Big Brother Yang. Mao cried out, wanting to help Yang Hanwu. The illusion cloud rat also rushed towards the green light, but the green light was too fast. It was too late. At this moment, Yang Hanwu had already closed his eyes, waiting for death to come. At this moment, the piece of wood in the divine dwellings moved and released a green light, which swallowed the green light that shot towards it. What? The tree demon let out a muffled cry. How is this possible? It could not believe that this human was able to swallow its attack. What was that green light? Suddenly, its face changed and it kept retreating. You! Why do you have the aura of the Wood Sovereign? To be able to swallow its attacks so easily, there was only one possibility. This human had something of the Wood Sovereign in his body. Only the Wood Sovereign had the ability to do so. Wood Sovereign? Yang Hanwu was stunned. The thing that absorbed the attack was the mysterious wooden stick in his spiritual abode. Could that wooden stick be the so-called branch of the Wood Sovereign? I don't know anything about the Wood Emperor. Yang Hanwu shook his head. Get out of my way. I don't want to get entangled with you. Move. Impossible. How can a human like you have the Wood Sovereign's god? Give it to the treasure. Or else, all of you will die, the old tree demon yelled. At this moment, densely packed tree demons surrounded Yang Hanwu, Mao, and the illusionary cloud rat. They surrounded Yang Hanwu, Mao, and the illusionary cloud rat. They formed an airtight encirclement that was like a fortress. There was no way they could escape. This time, we might really die here. The illusory cloud rat said, sigh. To think that I, the sovereign beast, would end up being bullied to death by a tree demon. What are you mumbling about? Yang Hanwu glared at it and slapped its head. Believe it or not, I'll throw you over there. The illusion cloud rat fell silent. Big brother Yang, hold on tight to me. I'll take you out. Mauer gritted her teeth and said. Take me with you. The illusion cloud rat's eyes lit up. It was a delusion breaker dragon cat. Not only did it have the delusion breaker eye, but it also had the ability to travel through space. Although these tree demons were powerful, they did not have the ability to travel through the void. Yang Hanwu felt the wooden strip in his body send out a message. He rejected the cat and said, Don't worry, I can deal with them. The reason being that the mysterious wooden strip had sent him a message, telling him that he could deal with these people and allow him to recover his cultivation. Since that was the case, Lin Fan decided to give it a try. He wanted to see what the true origin of the wooden strip in his body was. Human, have you thought it through? If you don't hand over the treasure of the Lordwood Emperor, I'm going to make my move. By then, I'll be able to obtain the treasure of the Lordwood Emperor after killing you guys. The leading old tree demon said. What Wood Emperor? I don't know who he is, and I don't have the so-called treasure of the Wood Emperor. If you guys insist on stopping me, don't blame me for not being courteous. Yang Hanwu looked at these tree demons and said coldly. Human, I think you're just courting death. Another tree demon was enraged. A gigantic branch that was like a long whip lashed out at Yang Hanwu. Watch out! Mauer cried out. Yang Hanwu was feeling nervous as well. At this moment, a green glow appeared on Yang Hanwu's body. This green glow formed a vortex. That vortex was absorbing the essence chi of the wood spirits from the surroundings. The tree demon that was closest to Yang Hanwu was releasing the essence chi of the wood spirits from its body and gushing into Yang Hanwu's body. The other tree demons shrieked and retreated frantically. Damn it! What is this thing? They were regretting. They shouldn't have been so greedy. They shouldn't have come looking for this human. He was a devil. The tree demons struggled frantically, wanting to escape. However, the suction force was so horrifying that they couldn't move at all. There was no way for them to escape. Damned human! Let go! Hurry up and let go! I don't want your treasure anymore. The tree demons shrieked. You want to leave now? Too late. Yang Hanwu scoffed coldly. How could there be such a good deal in this world? You wanted to rob, but you failed and got caught. Now, you want the other party to let you go? What a joke! The illusory cloud rat and the cat were stunned by the sudden change. The strength of these old tree demons was extremely terrifying. The strongest old tree demon had reached the level of a level 7 savage beast, which was equivalent to the cultivation of a human in the primordial spirit realm. However, these strong tree demons were begging for mercy one after another. The contrast was too great. At the start, they were still swaggering around like man-eating tigers. On the other hand, the other party was like a lamb waiting to be slaughtered. In just a short while, the other party had changed targets. The lamb waiting to be slaughtered suddenly turned into a ferocious butcher and a hunter with a gun. Spare us, I won't dare to do it again. Spare us, I can give you treasures and spiritual herbs. I have a few stalks of grade 7 spiritual herbs here, I can give them to you. I can also give you spirit stones. Yes, spirit stones, I can give you spirit stones to help you humans cultivate. The tree demon begged for mercy. I can get them after killing you. Although Yang Hanwu said so, he was actually very tempted. However, the problem was that he couldn't control the vortex at all. It was impossible for him to stop the nameless wooden stick in his body from absorbing the wood spirit essence. It was because he had no choice that Yang Hanwu refused righteously. Human, do you really want to fight to the death with us? The old tree demon was furious. A green light shot out from his eyes. His aura began to grow, showing signs of breaking free from the vortex. This gave Yang Hanwu a shock. Chapter 264. Soulless Emperor No. Old tree demon screamed in horror. he didn't expect that he wouldn't even be able to perish together with Lin Fan. He was unwilling, extremely unwilling. I curse you. I curse you to die a horrible death. As soon as his voice fell, it turned into pure wood spirit essence and fused into the green vortex. Yang Hanwu shuddered. His cultivation base had broken through. 8th level of the Purple Mansion realm. Before long, all of the tree demons had been devoured. Inside Yang Hongwu's god dwellings, the wooden stick sprouted and turned into a small tree. The small tree in Yang Hongwu's divine palace exuded a majestic vitality that expanded Yang Hongwu's divine palace considerably. The cat and the illusion cloud rat were dumbfounded. Freak, is he still human? You! Big brother Yang Hongwu, you are really powerful. You killed all these old tree demons? Mauer recovered after a long time. She looked at Yang Hongwu and couldn't believe her eyes. It's just that I happen to have something that can restrain them, Yang Hongwu said. Let's go, before we're too late. No, Mauer said. We will definitely be the first ones to enter the tomb. Let's move on. In this forest, those old tree demons had all been eliminated. The originally gloomy forest had become bright and beautiful. The vitality in the air had also become denser. The branches and leaves of the gold Phoebe ancient trees began to spread. As a matter of fact, the old tree demons were basically enslaving the gold firmaments and absorbing all of the spiritual energy that the gold firmaments needed. As a result, the growth of these gold ancient trees was slow. An hour later, under the guidance of the cat, Yang Hongwu arrived in front of a tall mountain peak. This mountain peak towered into the clouds, and an ancient and mysterious aura emanated from it. Yang Hongwu looked up and saw a huge tombstone in front of him. This huge tombstone had countless ancient restriction runes on it. These restriction runes looked very ancient. There were a few ancient words on the tombstone. Yang Hongwu had never seen these words before, but he could recognize them at first glance. Tomb of the Soulless Emperor. This is really the tomb of a great emperor? Soulless Emperor, I wonder who this Soulless Emperor is. Yang Hongwu looked at the ancient tombstone and muttered to himself. Big brother Yang, what did you say? Mauer looked at Yang Hongwu curiously. There are words on the tombstone? The illusion cloud ratsty. You didn't see the words on the tombstone. When Yang Hongwu heard this, he was very surprised. Why was he the only one who saw the words on the tombstone? If that's the case, then it was strange. No. The illusion cloud rat and the cat shook their heads. I didn't see it either, Hua Qianxue said. Am I the only one who saw it? Yang Hongwu frowned slightly. Whether this was a good thing or a bad thing, he did not know. Just as Yang Hongwu was pondering, a spatial fluctuation appeared. Someone is here. Yang Hongwu frowned. He didn't expect that there would still be people who could enter this place through spatial transmission. It was very dangerous to teleport here. If he wasn't careful, he would be teleported somewhere. If he was teleported to the lair of a level 7 savage beast, he would be dead. Someone is here before me. After the space fluctuated, a man appeared. He was wearing a gorgeous robe and had a fan in his hand. There was a simple jade pendant hanging from his waist and a golden crown on his head. He looked elegant and handsome, like a pretty boy. A cat, or rat, and a martial artist at Purple Mansion Realm Level 8. What an interesting combination. Zhou Yang was surprised when he saw Yang Hongwu. Yang Hongwu ignored him. He wasn't familiar with this guy. Zhou Yang's cultivation wasn't weak. He looked young, but his cultivation had reached the second step of the primordial spirit realm. His body was covered with a fiery aura. Yang Hongwu didn't know how he suppressed it, but he didn't have a fiery temper. This guy has the Fire 8 battle body. He cultivates the 9 Yang scripture. Hua Qianni reminded Yang Hongwu. 9 Yang scripture? Yang Hongwu was stunned. Damn, did I enter the wuxia world of Jin Dada? 9 Yang scripture? If that's the case, then there's also the 9 Yin scripture. Yes, the Nine Yang scripture is the ancient region's Zhang family's secret technique. This guy should be from the Zhang family. Hua Qianni said. Ancient region's Zhang family? How powerful is it? Yang Hongwu asked. Is it one of the top 10 families in the ancient region? That's right. Back then, the ancestor of the Zhang clan, Zhang Wuji, was a coward. Later on, he obtained the inheritance of an expert and cultivated the Nine Sons divine technique. He swept through the entire ancient domain and became a legend. Hua Qianni said. However, the Zhang family has declined. It used to be the third strongest family in the ancient region. Now, it can only barely enter the top 10. Yang Hongwu's forehead was sweating when he heard Hua Qianni's introduction. Zhang Wuji, Nine Yang divine art? Damn, is there Zhao Men and Zhou Zhirua? Zhang Wuji's wife can't be Zhao Men, right? Yang Hongwu asked. What Zhao Men? No, Zhang Wuji's wife is called Zhao Zhirua. Hua Qianni said. There is such a person called Zhao Men, but Zhao Men is a deity of the Kunlun immortal abode. She has a high status. Even when Zhang Wuji swept the ancient region, he couldn't match her. Yang Hongwu opened his mouth but didn't say anything. Zhao Men wasn't Zhang Wuji's wife. His wife was called Zhao Zhirua. Why wasn't she Zhou Zhirua? However, this didn't have much to do with him. This guy called Nine Sons didn't have anything to do with him. As long as he didn't provoke him, it would be fine. Otherwise, whatever Nine Sons' divine art, he would beat him up. Hey, your cat looks pretty good. It's quite cute. Zhang Jiuyang was about to say something when the space fluctuated again. A few people appeared not far away. This time, there were a total of 5 people. Following these people, another wave of fluctuations appeared. Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. They were the first to arrive. However, so many people had appeared before he even entered the tomb. Moreover, these people were all very strong. Oh, are the people from the 4 great academies all here? Zhang Jiuyang narrowed his eyes and looked at the people who appeared not far away. Zhang Jiuyang, you're here first. A man's voice sounded. This person was also a second-step primordial spirit realm cultivator. He had an afro and wore a cloak. His pair of hooked eyebrows were particularly eye-catching. Storm, you're the only one from the Tianyi Academy? Zhang Jiuyang sneered. Is there no one else in the Tianyi Academy? Chapter 265. Goodbye Zetian, how strong is your Feng clan? Zhang Jiuyang angrily said, look at you, you're just a maned pig. Storm's face darkened. This bastard actually dared to call him a maned pig. How despicable. Do you want to die? I'll fulfill your wish then. Who's afraid of you? Shut up, all of you, a deep male voice said. Yunpeng, I didn't expect you to come too. At this moment, a voice came from afar. This voice was very familiar to Yang Hongwu. Zetian, this guy is a Zetian. She didn't expect him to be here. Yang Hongwu's eyes narrowed as he looked at the newcomer. He was wearing a long purple robe. It was Zetian of the Qingyan sect, the Zetian who had forced him out of the Heavenly Dragon sect. This time, it was really unexpected. Yang Hongwu looked at Zetian. This guy's strength had actually reached the 3rd step primordial spirit realm. Powerful, he was indeed powerful. The primordial spirit realm of the 3rd step was equivalent to an inner core elder of the Tianyi Academy. Zetian, have you finished your closed-door training? Yunpeng narrowed his eyes. Zetian was one of his rivals. Among the younger generation, there weren't many people who could catch Yunpeng's eye, and Zetian was one of them. Of course. How can I, Zetian, miss out on such a big event? Zetian smiled faintly. You've already obtained the inheritance of Honorable Tao Tai. Yet, you still want to get your hands on the inheritance of Honorable Sang Hun? Yunpeng sneered. Aren't you afraid that you'll die from overreading here? Die from overreading? You want me, Zetian, to die from overreading with these things? What a joke. As for you, Yunpeng, don't die here when the time comes. However, it's not a bad choice to have a venerable's tomb as your burial ground, said Zetian. I want to see whose grave it is. Yunpeng was infuriated when he heard that. This bastard was actually so arrogant. However, the Taotai battle body was extraordinary and he was wary of it. Yang Hanwu noticed that Zetian was looking at him. He didn't want to attract Zetian's attention at this time. This Zetian is too strong. At present, I don't have absolute confidence in dealing with him. Zetian paused on Yang Hanwu for a moment and then moved away. Yang Hanwu was in disguise at this time, so Zetian couldn't see through him at all. One must know that Yang Hanwu had recently become famous in the Celestial Academy. How can I miss out on such a good thing? At that instant, a crisp voice was heard, as a woman in revealing clothes approached them. She had a butterfly mark on her forehead, giving her a seductive and enchanting appearance. Udgao. Everyone's expression changed. Udgao was a member of the demonic sect, the saintess of the demonic sect. The demonic sect's power wasn't any weaker than the 4 great academies. If it wasn't for the fact that the demonic sect was independent, the demonic sect would have already unified the entire ancient desolate continent. Currently, the entire ancient desolate continent was divided into 2 regions. One was the eastern continent led by the 4 great academies, and the other was the western continent led by the demonic sect. In fact, if one's strength hadn't reached that level, they wouldn't know about the western continent. Every time the 4 great academies and the 7 great sects held the ancient desolate continent's genius assembly, it was actually to compete with the demonic sect in the western continent. A real battle would consume a lot of energy, and neither side could afford it. Therefore, the younger generation's geniuses were chosen to compete. As the saintess of the demonic sect, how could Udgao come alone? Since the people of the devil sect knew about this great tomb, how could they have come alone? Sister Jiaoer, you're here first. Another voice was heard. This voice carried a cold murderous aura. Hearing it from afar, one couldn't help but shiver. Senior brother Imo, what are you talking about? I've just arrived. Udgao said. A man in black appeared in front of everyone. This person was very powerful. He was at the peak of 3rd step primordial spirit realm. He was just 1 step away from 4th step primordial spirit realm. His aura was much stronger than Zetian and Yunpeng. Imo Chantian, he's Imo Chantian. Among the 4 great academies, there were people who knew Imo Chantian. Once they heard this name, their faces changed. Imo Chantian, what a domineering name. Yang Hanwu squinted his eyes. What a guy. Once this name came out, even Yunpeng and Zetian's faces turned ugly. It seemed like this guy's strength was too strong. Yunpeng and Zetian wouldn't be a match for him. There might even be a huge gap between them. Yo, I heard that these are the 2 super geniuses of the eastern continent, Yunpeng and Zetian. TSK, I don't think they're that strong. Imo Chantian looked at the 2 with a mocking face. Do you want to fight? The 2 of you can come at me together. How domineering. He actually dared to say that he wanted the 2 of them to come at him together. One should know that Zetian and Yunpeng were almost equivalent to the strongest geniuses in the entire eastern continent. If the 2 of them were to join forces, even 4th step primordial spirit realm experts wouldn't be a match for them. Imo Chantian was so presumptuous and domineering. Was his strength really enough to contend with 4th step primordial spirit realm experts? Zetian and Yunpeng's faces turned green when they heard this. Damn it, he was simply a bastard. He didn't take the 2 of them seriously at all. However, they had to admit that Imo Chantian's strength was really strong. In addition, he had a powerful weapon in his hand. Once that weapon was used, an ordinary 4th step primordial spirit realm expert would be killed. If they had the soul-devouring bone spear, their strength would be enough to contend with Imo Chantian. They might even be able to defeat him with their combat body. Damn it, it's all that damned Yang Hongwu's fault. If it wasn't for him, they wouldn't be in this state. If it wasn't for him, they would have obtained a soul-devouring bone spear. If it wasn't for him, they would have obtained Hu Shou'er and Jing Qiushuang's combat body bloodline to make up for their flaws and make a breakthrough in their combat body to the point of perfection. Damn it, it's all that damned Yang Hongwu's fault. It's all his fault. If it wasn't for him, they wouldn't have suffered such humiliation in front of so many people. For a super genius, especially a genius like Zetian who thought himself infallible, to suffer such humiliation, he would feel extremely unhappy in his heart. Yunpeng also felt very uncomfortable. He was a dignified genius. When had he ever suffered such humiliation? Had he ever suffered such humiliation? However, he had no confidence in facing Enchantment now. Even if he teamed up with Zetian, he still wouldn't have any confidence in defeating Enchantment. Of course, although he couldn't defeat Enchantment, it was impossible for him to kill him. Enchantment, don't go too far. Zetian stared at Enchantment and said angrily, don't think that you're invincible just because you have a broken immortal weapon. It's just a broken immortal weapon. When I find the body of the soul-devouring bone spear, I'll definitely kill you. Chapter 266. The opening of the Great Tomb. Coward? Coward. Enchantment said with disdain. No matter how tolerant they were unable to tolerate such a situation. Just as Yunpeng and Zetian were about to speak and fight to the death with the other party, an earth-shattering sound rang out in everyone's ears. Rumble. The mountain actually split apart, revealing a long and narrow passageway. After the dust settled, the passageway appeared before everyone's eyes. The huge change attracted everyone's attention. Enchantment, who had been provoking Zetian and Yunpeng, no longer bothered with them. Beside the long and narrow passage, there were statues of yakshas and asuras. They looked ferocious and terrifying. A bloody and murderous aura blew in their faces. The most terrifying thing wasn't the yakshas and asuras, but the soul-devouring beasts in the middle of the passage. These soul-devouring beasts were filled with a violent and destructive aura. Puppets, these are puppets. Everyone took a deep breath. Yakshas, asuras, and soul-devouring beasts were just the entrance of the passage. How difficult would it be to enter? I'm afraid it's impossible for one person to kill his way in. We can only fight our way in if we work together. Yu Daijiao said, how about you give me some face and put aside the grudges between us until we break the passage and enter the tomb? Since Sister Jiao'er said so, I'll give you some face. I won't make things difficult for you two trash. Enchantment looked at Yunpeng and Zetian and said, you, don't think that I'm afraid of you. Although you have a broken immortal artifact and I admit that I'm not your opponent, it's impossible for you to kill us. If the two of us work together and go all out, it's hard to say who will win. Yunpeng said. All right. Stop arguing. Let's think about how to open the passage first. Yu Daijiao glanced at them coldly and said, if anyone dares to cause trouble, you're not giving me any face. Women were not to be offended, especially this kind of crazy and reckless woman. There was once a super genius from the eastern continent who had flirted with Yu Daijiao and infuriated her. Back then, Yu Daijiao was only at the 8th level of the arcane embryo realm while that genius was already at the 3rd step of the primordial spirit realm. In order to kill him, Yu Daijiao disregarded everything and invited the ancestral spirit to kill that genius. Summoning the ancestral spirit came at a great price. It cost Yu Daijiao 90% of her lifespan and a supreme-grade celestial artifact. Even the leaders of the 4 great universities might not be able to bear such a price, yet Yu Daijiao had done it. Moreover, she had to face the wrath of a major power. Therefore, such a crazy woman was not to be trifled with. One was the holy virgin of the demonic sect, while the other was the holy son of the demonic sect. Both of them were terrifyingly strong. Although there were only 2 people from the devil sect, these 2 people gave the eastern continent a huge amount of pressure. This was something Yang Hanwu could hardly believe. Yang Hanwu had heard that the devil sect was powerful, but he had never imagined that it would be so powerful. However, all of this had nothing to do with him. When he became stronger, Enchantian, the Devil Sect, and the 4 great universities would all be nothing. At this moment, Yang Hanwu felt an indescribable satisfaction when he saw Zetian's pig liver face. Who told you to be arrogant? Now you can't be arrogant anymore. What Yang Hanwu did not expect was that Zetian happened to notice his gloating expression. Zetian was furious. I can't take care of Enchantian, but you're just a purple mansion realm cultivator. Can't I take care of you? He grabbed at Yang Hanwu with his big hand. Yang Hanwu cursed his bad luck when he saw this. Why am I so unlucky? Did this Zetian recognize me? That's impossible. However, regardless of whether he was exposed or not, Yang Hanwu was not the kind of person who would sit still and wait for death. He threw out a punch and crushed a small teleportation talisman in an instant, teleporting outside. Even so, Yang Hanwu suffered a heavy blow. He felt something sweet in his throat and spat out a mouthful of blood. Good boy, you have some skills. Zetian was extremely surprised. He never imagined that he was unable to capture a fellow with a cultivation that was only at the Violet Palace realm. He was extremely depressed in his heart, and when he looked at the gazes of ridicule in the surroundings, he felt even more aggrieved. Nothing goes well, and everyone wants to go against me. However, I, Zetian, want to catch you. Where are you going to hide? Zetian said angrily. He once again tried to grab Yang Hanwu. Yang Hanwu was about to escape, but at this time, a ribbon blocked in front of Yang Hanwu. UDGAO, what do you mean by this? Zetian's attack was blocked, and he was furious. I'm just trying to catch a person who is not from the Devil Sect. Why are you stopping me? I like him. Can I? UDGAO said. You? Zetian was so angry that he was speechless. What a bastard. What about me? Can I? UDGAO said. Rantian, your woman seduced a man in front of you. Can you swallow this anger? Zetian looked at Rantian and said loudly. Rantian's face changed when he heard Zetian's words. Zetian, you bastard. Even if you want to die, don't drag me down with you. Although Rantian was the first holy son of the Devil Sect and had the possibility of becoming the holy son, he was still lacking compared to UDGAO. One had to know that UDGAO was already the holy daughter of the Devil Sect. It was just that other than the inner circle of the Devil Sect, no one knew about it. However, Rantian was well aware of all of this. Senior brother when did I become your woman? Why didn't I know about it? Also, he said that the man I like is a bastard. How do you think I should deal with him? Although there was a faint smile on UDGAO's face, Rantian knew that UDGAO was truly furious. This bastard is talking nonsense. How can I be worthy of Junior Sister? Although I've admired Junior Sister for a long time, I still know my own limits. As for this bastard, he dares to talk nonsense. I'll help Junior Sister deal with him. Junior Sister and this Junior Brother, I guarantee that no one will dare to disturb you. Rantian hurriedly apologized. Then, he turned to Zetian and said, Zetian, you really don't know what's good for you. How dare you scold my Junior Sister and the man she likes? Today, I'll see what the super genius of the Eastern Continent is capable of. Zetian's mouth twitched. His face turned green again. Damn it, how could this be? Didn't Rantian like UDGAO? Why didn't he get angry when UDGAO was with another man and protecting him so intimately? Why did he have to bow and apologize? Wasn't he the first holy son of the Devil Sect? The strongest person in the younger generation? How could this be? Chapter 267. A Big Hand. Enchantian rushed towards Zetian with a black landscape painting in his hand. It was Enchantian's immortal tool. Although it was a broken immortal tool, its power was not as simple as it looked. Even if it was a broken immortal tool, it was still much more powerful than a heavenly tool. Damn it! Zetian's face turned solemn. This bastard is serious. I'm not his match. He called out to Yunpeng and said, Yunpeng, let's work together to defeat this guy. Otherwise, we'll have nothing to do with this great tomb. Yunpeng cursed in his heart. It's all your fault. Why did you provoke that guy? However, he had to take action because Zetian was telling the truth. Chantian's strength was similar to theirs. Even if he was stronger, it was only by a little. However, he had an immortal tool in his hand. Good. Chantian was not afraid when he saw Yunpeng and Zetian attacking together. Instead, he was full of confidence. The black landscape painting in his hand opened up. The grass and trees seemed to have come alive. Dots of light shot out from the painting, turning into a terrifying killing weapon. Taotai Battle Body, activate. Zetian seemed to have turned into a giant ancient beast. The legendary Taotai had a huge mouth that could devour everything. Yunpeng also moved. He activated his battle body at the same time. A giant rock appeared behind him. It was the shadow of an ancient immortal rock. It was rumored to be the descendant of the Kunpeng. This ancient immortal rock was no weaker than Taotai. The immortal rock spread its wings and flapped them. A strong wind blew. A terrifying wind blade condensed and rushed towards the black landscape painting. Both of them were the top geniuses of the younger generation. They were very powerful and were not weaker than the elders of the older generation. Moreover, the two of them cooperated very well, as if they were born brothers with the same mind. Yang Hanwu was stunned by the battle. He did not expect Udijiao to help him block Zetian's attack. She even said that she was his man. Yang Hanwu was puzzled. Am I that eye-catching? Was he ruthless and handsome? No, although he was a little handsome, it was not to the extent that everyone would fall in love with him. Could it be that Udijiao was a love-struck fool? This was simply impossible. As the Holy Virgin of the Devil sect, how could she be so simple? How could she be a love-struck fool? He took a deep breath. Could it be that this woman had seen through some of his secrets? Yang Hanwu didn't doubt that at all. There were people in this world who could see through his constitution and his disguise. My little brother, come with me. I'll protect you. Udai's enchanting figure and fiery figure exuded boundless charm as she gracefully walked, causing people to feel hot all over. Yang Hongwu's face was full of black lines. That's not a good word. Besides, you're just a little girl who hasn't tried it before. What do you know? How is it small? That was utter nonsense. For the sake of the word little, I can't go with you. Well, thank you for your help, Fairy Yu, Yang Hanwu said. I'm weak, so I won't be a burden to you. Fairy Yu, I like this name. Do you know that you're the first person to call me this? From now on, you'll be the only one to call me this. It's your exclusive name. Udijiao's eyes lit up when she heard that. She looked at Yang Hanwu with a strange expression. Her bell-like laughter showed how happy she was. She was not pretending. She was genuinely happy and happy. Her smile came from the bottom of her heart. Only Udijiao knew how happy she felt. It had been a long time since she was so happy. Yang Hanwu smiled bitterly. Was this girl really a love-struck fool? It was a pity that such a powerful girl was actually a love-struck fool. If it was any other time, it would be a good thing to have such a beautiful girl following him. Even if she was the holy maiden of the devil sect, it wouldn't matter. However, he couldn't do that now. He was going to enter the great tomb to obtain treasures and inheritances. With Udijiao following him, he wouldn't be able to use many of his skills. His mobility would be greatly reduced. Not good, really not good. Moreover, Yang Hanwu didn't know what this girl was trying to do. He didn't have the ability to read minds. There was no way to see through people's hearts. Even if this girl was very beautiful, Yang Hanwu wasn't willing to take the risk. Therefore, Yang Hanwu ignored Udijiao. He turned around and walked towards the great tomb's entrance. You have a personality. I like it. However, my good little brother, you won't be able to escape from my palm. Udgao also chased after Yang Hanwu. Seeing Yang Hanwu and Udgao walking towards the entrance, the others didn't directly rush in. Those who could enter this place were all geniuses with great strength and talent. Therefore, they wouldn't take the risk first. This was a great tomb of a venerable. It might even be the tomb of a stronger expert. How could it be so easy to enter? It was best that these two were willing to explore the way. His divine dwelling had been cultivated to the great perfection realm, and he had condensed a trace of primordial spirit. Although he hadn't formed a real primordial spirit, his perception was much stronger than ordinary people. Yang Hanwu was very confident about this. Even those old guys who had entered the fourth step of the primordial spirit realm couldn't compare to his perception. In addition, he had Hua Qianxue, Mao'er, and the illusory cloud rat with him. Needless to say, Hua Qianxue was once a super genius of the Hua clan. She could be said to be very knowledgeable. The illusory cloud rat knew a lot. It was a rat that had lived for God knows how long. The origin of the cat was even more mysterious. The delusion destruction chinchilla had a mysterious origin and possessed the ability to manipulate space. He had been to the entrance of this ancient tomb many times. Even if he wasn't particularly familiar with it, he still knew a lot about it. Yang Hanwu was speechless when he realized that this girl had caught up with him. However, it didn't matter if she caught up with him, as long as she was fast enough. After communicating with Hua Qianxue, Yang Hanwu found that these puppets, such as the Ikshas and Ajuras, were relatively low level. Of course, their strength actually changed according to the strength of their opponent. If you were strong, they would be strong. If you were weak, they would be weak. This was similar to the last stage of the Outer Disciple Challenge competition in Sky Dragon Sect. However, these Yakshas and Ajuras were much stronger. Moreover, they didn't rely on their aura. No matter what living thing it was, as long as it entered the attack range, it would be subjected to a terrifying attack. Just as Yang Hanwu was about to step into the passage, a huge hand suddenly appeared in the sky and grabbed at Yang Hanwu. Chapter 268. Chapter 268 Into the Tomb. Damn it, what is this? Yang Hanwu looked at the huge hand that was grabbing at him from the void. He had no way to block it. That aura was too terrifying. At this moment, a gray arrow shot out from the great tomb. The arrow hit the giant hand in the air and turned into a ripple before disappearing. As for Yang Hanwu, he felt an aura enveloping him as a power poured into his body. His cultivation base kept breaking through, 1 level, 2 levels. Mystic Embryo Realm. In an instant, he broke through the shackles of the Mystic Embryo stage and reached the first level of the Mystic Embryo stage. Yang Hanwu was ecstatic. There was actually such a good thing. He originally thought that the aura would be harmful to him, but who would have thought that it would give him such a great benefit? Udgao and the others were stunned by this scene. Wasn't this brat's luck too good? Under such circumstances, not only did he not die, but his cultivation had also increased. Yang Hanwu? However, when he made a breakthrough in his cultivation, his disguise was removed, and he regained his original appearance. Seeing Yang Hanwu's face, Zetian's eyes burned with anger. Little bastard, it's you. Zetian glared at Yang Hanwu, her eyes filled with hatred. Give me my soul-devouring bone staff. Yang Hanwu knew something was wrong. At this time, Zetian rushed toward Yang Hanwu recklessly. Zetian, you are so arrogant. Your opponent is me, and you want to leave before the fight is over? However, Moratsky didn't care whether he was Yang Hanwu or not. They only knew that this kid was favored by Udgao. The matter just now wasn't over yet. If this kid went to trouble Yang Hanwu again, they wouldn't have a good life in the future. Zetian was furious. Get out of my way, Mo Chantian. I don't want to be entangled with you. My target is Yang Hanwu. He snatched my bone staff, which belongs to me. If you want to stop me, then don't blame me for being rude. Although I'm not your opponent for the time being, if I go all out, you won't be able to gain any benefits. At that time, both sides will suffer, and your position in the devil's doctrine will not be good. Zetian's aura kept rising. Her hair spread out and moved with the wind. A pair of eyes stared at Yang Hanwu. This bastard, not only did he snatch away his bone staff, but what was even more hateful was that he actually hooked up with his fiancée. Qin Qiushuang was also a shameless bitch. She actually mixed up with this little bastard Yang Hanwu. Thinking of this, Zetian was furious. Mo Chantian looked at this guy who seemed to be going crazy. He frowned. He really didn't want to risk his life to fight with this crazy Zetian. However, Mo Chantian wouldn't back down. You want me to back down, so I'll back down. How could there be such an easy thing? You can go if you want, but what about the matter just now? Mo Chantian couldn't wait to see him fight with Udgao. Now Udgao's status was higher than his. In the Devil's Doctrine, she was his biggest opponent among the younger generation. However, before he became the saint, his status was lower than hers. Moreover, the power behind her was much stronger than his. If it wasn't for this bastard's words, he wouldn't have to do this. Here. Zetian threw out a porcelain bottle. This is a drop of the longevity pool's water. Zetian felt his heart ache. The longevity pool's water could save his life at a critical moment. However, in order to catch Yang Hanwu and take back his bone staff, Zetian had no choice but to take it out. Mo Chantian was satisfied. A drop of the longevity pool's water was too rare. He didn't expect that Yang Hanwu, no, that bone staff, would be so valuable in Zetian's eyes. The soul-devouring bone staff. Could it be that it was an incredible weapon? Was it also a broken immortal tool? Mo Chantian's eyes rolled, but he said, "All right, since you're so sincere, I won't stop you." Mo Chantian, senior brother Mo, you're letting him go just like that? You want him to deal with my man? Are you going to completely fall out with me? Udgao said at this time. Mo Chantian's mouth twitched. F***ck, could it be that this young lady has really taken a fancy to this Yang Hanwu? Before he came, he knew that there was a Tier 7 Pill King in the ancient desolate continent. However, he didn't know that this person was Yang Hanwu. If he knew, he definitely wouldn't have agreed to Zetian's conditions. In comparison, the value of a drop of the longevity pool's water couldn't be compared to a favor from a Tier 7 Pill King. That, you see, it was a misunderstanding. He also admitted his mistake. This matter has nothing to do with me. I say, junior sister, do you really like this kid? Lin Fan had to admit that this brat was pretty lucky. His cultivation base had broken through in such a short period of time. What was the background of that gigantic hand? The mysterious aura in the tomb was so terrifying that it was able to disperse the gigantic hand. Was it all related to this brat? This guy had a lot of secrets. Could he be the inheritor of this great tomb? Whether or not he was, he could use this opportunity to see the relationship between this kid and the great tomb. He also wanted to see if there were any terrifying experts in the great tomb. If Yang Hanwu was really the inheritor of this great tomb, it would be good for him to fight with Zetian. Whether he died or Zetian died, it would be good for the demonic sect. His name is Yang Hanwu. Didn't you hear clearly? He's the new Pill King in the Eastern Continent. Udgao said. Pill King? He's the young new Pill King? Mo Chantian asked in surprise. He knew that there was a new Pill King in the Eastern Continent. He was the only Pill King in the ancient desolate continent. A Pill King status was extremely high. If he could get a Tier 7 Pill King, he would have a chance to break through the fourth step of the primordial spirit realm and step into the real primordial spirit realm level 1. Many old guys had this idea. Some of the old guys in the demonic sect who were nearing the end of their lifespan even planned to attack the Tianyi Academy and snatch the Pill King. They didn't expect that this Pill King would be so young and appear here. That's right. My initial guess was right. If we can get him to come to our western continent, it won't be a problem for our demonic sect to unify the entire ancient desolate continent. Udgao said. If that's the case, we can't let Zetian do anything to him. A cold light flashed in Emochantian's eyes. A Tier 7 Pill King's favor was much more valuable than a drop of longevity pond water. Although the longevity pond water was good and could even save a life at a critical moment, could it help him break through to the primordial spirit realm? No, it couldn't. Although the longevity pond water was good, it couldn't compare to a breakthrough in his cultivation and a favor from a Pill King. At this moment, Yang Hanwu let go. Since his identity had been exposed, there was no need to hide anymore. He activated his battle constitution and martial strength. Dragon Source to the 9 heavens was pushed to the extreme. He turned into 5 golden dragons and rushed in 5 directions. Chapter 269. Chapter 269 Uncanny Passage. Zetian punched out. The power of this punch was terrifying, as though it came from the ancient continent. It broke through all shackles and devoured all living things. Even space was shattered, forming a small black hole. Yang Hanwu roared, "Divine Dragon Demon Suppressing Talisman, suppress him." A golden talisman flew out of Yang Hanwu's divine palace and turned into a golden suppress character. This character emitted a golden glow and formed a mysterious protection that blocked the terrifying fist energy. However, the difference in strength was too great. Yang Hanwu was still sent flying. However, to everyone's surprise, Yang Hanwu flew into the tomb's passageway. "Zetian, thank you for giving me a ride. I will return that punch to you. Xing Qiushuang is my woman, and so is Hu Shou'er. They are all my women." 3 months later, at the ancient desolate continent Genius Assembly, "I will kill you personally. I will let you know what a genius is, and who is the true king of the ancient desolate continent. Damn it, do you think you can run away?" Zetian's heart skipped a beat, and his face turned ferocious. He was a 3rd-step primordial spirit realm cultivator, yet he was unable to take down a warrior who had just entered the mystic embryo realm. How could he not be angry? Moreover, this guy had even threatened to kill him. He actually wanted to snatch a woman from him. Xing Qiushuang, that B*TCH, that shameless B*TCH, also deserves to die. Zetian's veins bulged, and his eyes flashed with fury. He rushed toward the tomb passage and followed behind Yang Hanwu. No wonder. Hearing this, Mo-Rantian smiled. No wonder Zetian was so angry with Yang Hanwu. Even if he gave him a drop of the longevity pond water, he still wanted to kill Yang Hanwu. So it was because of the hatred of stealing his wife. This kid was ruthless enough. However, he seemed to have a way with women. Although Udgao didn't say it, one could see that she was interested in Yang Hanwu. It wasn't as simple as his identity as a Pill King. "Let's go. We can't let Zetian kill Yang Hanwu." Udgao quickly chased after them. When the others saw that Zetian, Mo-Rantian, and the others had entered the tunnel, they couldn't care less. Those who were strong rushed in front, and the others followed behind. He was afraid that if he went in too late, the item would be snatched away by others, and the inheritance would be snatched away. Although they had seen the giant hand blocking Yang Hanwu from entering the tomb, they didn't think it was to protect Yang Hanwu. Instead, they thought it was the master of the tomb. It was to protect the person who had entered his tomb and obtained his inheritance. It was for the sake of his successor. They knew how powerful the gigantic hand was. It came from the void and was extremely terrifying. It was the power of a Zun cultivator, a god. Only a Zun cultivator or a god could be so terrifying. How powerful would the inheritance of a Zun cultivator or a god be? Therefore, after seeing someone enter, the others rushed forward, afraid that they would be too late. Yang Hanwu didn't have the time to care about others. At this time, Yang Hanwu entered the tunnel and stepped on the first step. Suddenly, a terrifying pressure was released. Jinqi. The Jinqi in his body disappeared. Yang Hanwu was shocked. What's going on? Jinqi disappeared? Then, can I only rely on my strong body? No, that's not right. I still have the power of my divine sense and primordial spirit. Like Yang Hanwu, the others who came in later also changed their expressions, including Zetian, Mo Rantian, and Udgao. Everyone's Jinqi was suppressed. My Jinqi disappeared. Damn it. What's going on? I can't feel my Jinqi either. Here, my Jinqi is suppressed. Damn it. How can this be? One by one, they cursed. If a martial artist couldn't use Jinqi, they would definitely be very uncomfortable and scared. It was like a person who suddenly went blind. Yang Hanwu saw their expressions and was amused. Well, it's not just my Jinqi that is suppressed. Everyone's Jinqi is suppressed. Then, won't I be the one who benefits? This was his greatest advantage. Right now, the power of his consciousness and the power of his essence spirit were definitely the strongest out of all of them. Even if they are in the fourth step of the primordial spirit realm, they don't have the power of the primordial spirit. They only have the power of divine sense. In addition to himself, he also had helpers. One was the cat, the illusory cloud rat. In addition to them, he also had other helpers, such as the Dapeng golden eagle, the 9 frost centipede, and so on. After connecting this point, Yang Hanwu was not worried at all. In the worst-case scenario, he still had the talisman. His talisman should be able to be used, right? Originally, Yang Hanwu planned to deal with the Zetian here, but he didn't expect that all the Asuras and Yikshas had come to life. This made Yang Hanwu's face change greatly. Damn it. Without Jinqi, how could these Asuras and Yikshas resist? Yang Hanwu was facing a Yiksha. This Yiksha's momentum was not strong, but it had reached the mysterious embryo realm. Golden Dragon War Body, activate. Vigor Technique, activate. Omnidirectional Killing Fist, advent of the Killing God. A fierce and overbearing killing fist was thrown out, and a powerful force burst out. The pure physical strength was condensed with killing intent, the power of divine sense, and the power of primordial spirit contained in it. With this punch, a god of death condensed. The overbearing murderous intent of the god of death blasted the Yiksha to death. Zetian and the others were also entangled by the Yikshas and Asuras. Yang Hanwu looked at the endless stream of Asuras and Yikshas and frowned. At this time, it was better to leave. Although it was the best time to kill Zetian, if he was late, he might be surrounded. Moreover, his purpose this time was to obtain the treasures and inheritance in the tomb. This was the tomb of a great emperor. If he could obtain his inheritance, he would be able to soar to the sky. As for Zetian, if he defeated him in front of everyone in the genius competition, it would be a big blow to him. Thinking of this, Yang Hanwu sped up and used his movement skill. The dragon swimming in the 9 heavens movement skill did not require Jinqi, but it could still burst out with amazing speed. Zetian watched Yang Hanwu leave, and he was very angry. Damn bastard, wait until I get the inheritance of the venerable god, then I'll kill you. Zetian punched a Yiksha that was rushing towards him. Those with strong physical bodies had the advantage here, but the others were not so lucky. The Asuras and Yikshas puppets were merciless. In an instant, the dozens of people who entered the passage screamed miserably. Many of them died at the hands of the Asuras and Yikshas. The death rate was very high. In just a short time, almost half of the dozens of people had died. Most of them were brought by Zetian and Yunpeng. Moreover, these people were all elites and geniuses. Because the Morning Soul Mountains had restrictions, if one was not a genius, one would be killed. Chapter 270. Primordial Mystic Method. Yang Hanwu relied on his advantage to avoid the attacks of those Asura Yikshas. Soon, they arrived at the end of the passageway. The final trial, the soul-devouring beast. Yang Hanwu furrowed his brows at the sight of the soul-devouring beast. It was a soul-devouring beast. King Hell, devouring souls. That was extremely dangerous. You can also devour it. Hua Qianshua's voice rang in Yang Hanwu's mind. These words caused Yang Hanwu's entire body to tremble. That's right, how could he have forgotten? The dragon soul, devour the heavens. TSK, this secret technique could definitely deal with the soul-devouring beast. Devour, since you want to devour me, then let me devour you first. Perhaps, he might even be able to break through the spiritual refinement Heart Sutra and condense a primordial spirit. Yang Hanwu strode into the soul-devouring beast's attack range. The soul-devouring beast immediately opened its eyes. The soul-devouring beast's mouth was like a mosquito's, with a long straw. Its body was like a bat's, and it flew at an astonishing speed. Don't let that straw stab you. Mauer reminded. This soul-devouring beast's straw can devour the power of the soul. Yang Hanwu nodded and said, I understand. He suddenly punched out and hit the soul-devouring beast's body. After the soul-devouring beast was sent flying, it swayed a bit before charging forward again. Dragon soul devour the heavens, devour. Yang Hanwu roared, and a golden dragon appeared above Yang Hanwu's head. With a roar, it charged towards the soul-devouring beast. He opened his big mouth and swallowed a soul-devouring beast into his stomach. Crack! Crack! This was the soul-devouring beast. After the dragon soul devoured it, it turned into pure soul energy. While it continued to strengthen Yang Hanwu's soul, a part of it also turned into pure consciousness power. Wow, it's really helpful. Yang Hanwu could feel that his soul had become stronger, and the power of his primordial spirit had also been strengthened a little. A soul-devouring beast was killed. Yang Hanwu targeted another one. The dragon soul devour the heavens was used again, and another soul-devouring beast was devoured. The power of the primordial spirit increased again. The few people who had killed the Azuriyaksha with great difficulty were all dumbfounded when they saw Yang Hanwu chasing after the soul-devouring beast. Mother Fastress Kerr, who was this person? He was only at the first level of the arcane embryo realm, but he was so strong and savage, chasing after the soul-devouring beast. Zetian's expression was ugly as well. Just what kind of cultivation technique did this guy cultivate? That golden dragon soul actually devoured the soul-devouring beast. Who was the Taoist? Even with his Tao Tai battle body, he could devour as well. But, he couldn't do it so brazenly. Did he not to digesting it? Is he devouring beast? He had not even finished off all the Azuriyakshas, and this bastard had already finished off all the soul-devouring beasts. The others were not in the same mood as Zetian. They had a good impression of Yang Hanwu. The Azuriyakshas were already so powerful, causing them to suffer heavy losses. If they were to face the soul-devouring beasts, wouldn't their losses be even greater? After Yang Hanwu devoured all the soul-devouring beasts, his body shook. A primordial spirit condensed in his spiritual abode. This primordial spirit was in the shape of a small person. The golden primordial spirit was exactly the same as Yang Hanwu. As soon as the primordial spirit was formed, Yang Hanwu's aura changed. To outsiders, this change was just a little bit. They could not tell what the change was. However, only Yang Hanwu knew that the change could be described as earth-shattering. His combat power was many times stronger than before. Now, he did not need to rely on the battle spirit possession to kill arcane embryo realm level 8, level 9, and even level 10. If he used the battle spirit possession to erupt with his strongest power, he would be able to fight against a level 1 or level 2 primordial spirit realm. Now, although it was not enough to kill Zetian, there was no need to be afraid of him. Unless Zetian snatched the bone staff back from him and let him control the real soul-devouring bone spear, his strength would increase exponentially and he might be able to kill Yi Shiwen. However, would Yi Shiwen give him the chance? The body of the soul-devouring bone spear and the soul-devouring bone staff were in Yi Shiwen's hands. Of course, if Yi Shiwen had enough strength and power, he would give the soul-devouring bone staff to him at the genius competition and defeat him. That would be very satisfying. After condensing the primordial spirit, Yang Hanwu was very satisfied. If Zetian came to provoke him at this time, he would not mind teaching him a lesson. At this time, Yang Hanwu felt a strong suction force. In an instant, he was teleported into a large hall. In this large hall, a statue appeared. This statue was of a woman wearing a veil. However, although it was just a veiled statue, it gave Yang Hanwu an irresistible feeling. He could only look up to it. This was an almighty, a super almighty. Could it be that this tomb belonged to this woman? However, didn't they say that the tomb belonged to the soul morning martial monarch? What was the relationship between this woman and the morning soul emperor? Could she be the morning soul emperor's woman? Or was she his daughter? No matter who this woman was, it was only right to bow to her. After all, he had entered her territory in the tomb. Yang Hanwu stood in front of the statue and bowed. He muttered, "I'm sorry to disturb you, senior. I hope you don't blame me." After Yang Hanwu bowed, a ray of light appeared and shot into Yang Hanwu's mind. This information shocked Yang Hanwu. This was a skill that used the primordial spirit to attack, Jingshan finger. First finger to frighten ghosts and gods, second finger to slay gods and demons, third finger to destroy heaven and earth. Domineering, so domineering. This skill was too strong. It used the primordial spirit as a supplement to attack the soul. TSK, this time, his strength had increased tremendously. This was great. This was too great. He did not expect to receive such a huge benefit just by bowing. He wondered if the people who came later would benefit if they were the same as him. Yang Hanwu did not know, nor was he interested in knowing. Of course, Yang Hanwu would not be so stupid to tell others about this. If it was Jin Qiushuang and the others, Yang Hanwu would definitely remind them. But what about the others? Even if they were from the Tianyi Academy, they had nothing to do with him. Everyone was selfish, and even Yang Hanwu was the same. In front of such a peerless cultivation method, who would be willing to share it with others? Especially those who were not on good terms with him. If he told them about this, would they learn a powerful skill and use it to deal with him? Chapter 271. Chapter 271 Hall of Heritage. Then, Yang Hanwu remembered the Yi-Chi turning 3 pure ones secret method that he had obtained before. After killing Lin Quan, he obtained the one spirit into 3 pure ones. This was also an essence spirit mystic technique. If he could cultivate 3 clones, TSK. However, now was not the time to cultivate. Splitting one's own primordial spirit was no joke. It was dangerous and the pain was definitely not something that an ordinary person could endure. The one spirit into 3 pure ones. Once he got out of this tomb, he would cultivate the one spirit into 3 pure ones. 3 clones meant that he had 3 extra lives. This was not a true spirit clone, but an actual clone. Just as Yang Hanwu was thinking about these things, the space fluctuated. Some people were teleported in. They were Mo Rantian, Yun Peng, and the others. Of course, Zetian was also there. Zetian glared at Yang Hanwu when she saw him. "Brat, hand over your life." "Humph." With a cold snort, a voice sounded in everyone's ears. "This is the Great Inheritance Hall. Anyone who enters my place will have to follow my rules. If anyone violates my rules, then there is no need for them to exist." Zetian spat out a mouthful of blood. She was a little dispirited and fell to the ground. She was in a sorry state. However, Zetian was tough and didn't beg for mercy. "I'll spare your life this time." Yang Hanwu swallowed his saliva. Could this voice belong to the woman in front of him? So domineering, so powerful. Could she be the Morning Soul Emperor? Was the Morning Soul Emperor a woman? This empress was so powerful. In Yang Hanwu's memories, the strongest person in the ancient desolate continent had never been a woman. A woman who could become a great emperor was definitely not simple. However, Yang Hanwu still didn't know what kind of realm a great emperor was. However, he was certain that it was definitely beyond the realm he knew. Entering this place is an opportunity for you. Of course, it could also be a fatal danger. Those who can survive will obtain great benefits. For example, obtaining my legacy. For example, obtaining the immortal equipment that you all dream of. The Morning Soul Emperor's voice sounded in everyone's ears again. How can we obtain Senior's legacy and immortal artifact? One of them asked boldly. Like I said, there are opportunities and dangers here. Opportunities and dangers coexist. If you want to obtain immortal equipment, cultivation techniques, and medicinal pills, there are all of them. As long as you have enough courage and insight, you have enough courage. The Morning Soul Emperor continued, this is the Hall of Succession. You can get whatever you need here. As soon as he said those words, a large black screen appeared in the hall. Words kept flashing on the big black screen. The words recorded all kinds of treasures, equipment, cultivation methods, elixirs, and so on. There was one immortal artifact, the soul-reaping bell. The soul-reaping bell could emit a terrifying ringing sound that could suck away one's soul. Hence, it was called the soul-reaping bell and was extremely ferocious. Once he got his hands on one's soul, he would be invincible in the entire ancient desolate mainland. There were 7th-grade medicinal pills and even an 8th-grade medicinal pill. Yang Hanwu gulped down his saliva. Yang Hanwu was tempted by immortal equipment, but not by much. He already had an immortal equipment. His 9-heaven Mysteriousine Tower was not any weaker than the soul-reaping bell. In fact, it was even stronger. However, 8th-grade medicinal pills, to him, it was very tempting. He did not know how long it would take for him to create 8th-grade medicinal pills. After all, Hua Qinxue was only a 7th-grade alchemist. There was a huge gap between a 7th-grade alchemist and an 8th-grade alchemist. Even in the ancient region, there was only one 8th-grade alchemist. That person had long become a legend. Do you see that? Do you guys want the treasures here? Senior, how can we get these treasures? Yeah, what's the price? Everyone present was excited. These treasures were rare even in the ancient region, let alone in the ancient desolate mainland. Immortal equipment, 8th-grade medicinal pills, 7th-grade talismans, and powerful secret techniques. All of these treasures were priceless. Once they got their hands on one of them, their strength would increase tremendously, and they might even become the strongest person in the ancient desolate mainland. Even if they could not, they could still become the ruler of a region. It's very simple. Use crystal stones to exchange. Crystal stones can be obtained outside. You can obtain crystal stones by killing savage beasts. The higher the level of the savage beast you kill, the more powerful it is, the more crystal stones you can obtain. Of course, you can also fight with each other and kill your opponents to obtain the crystal stones on them. The Morning Soul Emperor said, the first trial has restrictions on you. Once you've passed the first trial and enter this place, your cultivation will no longer be restricted. You are allowed to use your true qi and any other means you have. Suddenly, a huge door appeared in the hall. Outside the door was an endless wilderness. It was filled with a terrifying and violent aura. From time to time, a powerful bird would fly across the sky. Heart-reaping bird? Someone exclaimed. Yang Hanwu was stunned. Heart-reaping bird? What a ferocious name. It's really a heart-reaping bird. Oh my God, why would such a thing appear? Another person exclaimed. Heart-reaping bird is a ferocious beast from the ancient times. It's extremely powerful, and its strength is equivalent to that of a second-step primordial spirit realm. It loves to eat hearts, and would usually dig out the hearts of its prey. Therefore, it's called the heart-reaping bird. Hua Qinxue explained. It's too scary outside. Someone said. I'm not going out. Me too. A few of them wanted to retreat. They were only first-step primordial spirit realm cultivators, and they were frightened by the heart-reaping bird. Not going out? The soul-reaping emperor laughed. You can't not go out. If you don't collect 10,000 crystal stones, you'll be killed. If I don't go out, I'll give up my immortal equipment and treasures, and I'll be killed. On what basis?" someone cried out. "Because I'm the owner of this place." As soon as the soul-reaping emperor's voice was heard, the person turned into a mist of blood. He couldn't be more dead. Those who were initially displeased were all scared out of their wits. They didn't dare to retort anymore. This was way too ferocious. All they did was question and didn't want to go out to die. But in the end, they were killed and turned into a mist of blood. Yan Hanwu gasped. He hadn't expected that this soul-reaping emperor, a female emperor, would be so cruel. She would really kill when she said she would. Hunting down beasts and obtaining crystal stones wasn't too difficult for Yan Hanwu. At the very least, he wouldn't have any problems protecting himself. Yang Hongwu's gaze landed on the Grade 8 pill. The regeneration pill could reforge one's physical body. Wasn't this pill prepared for Hua Qianxue? Chapter 272. Cooperation. 1 million crystal stones. One Grade 8 pill required 1 million crystal stones. An immoral artifact would only cost 2 million crystal stones. What a pain in the ass. It was at the same level as an immoral artifact. It would not be easy to obtain 1 million crystal stones. One Grade 5 savage beast was worth 1 to 100 crystal stones. One Grade 6 savage beast was worth 1 to 1,000 crystal stones. How long would it take? Yang Hanwu frowned. It was too difficult. 1 month. You have 1 month. Remember, only 1 month. After 1 month, those who do not have enough crystal stones will be killed. Geniuses of ancient desolate mainland, good luck to you. Everyone looked at each other. Looking outside, the heart-grabbing birds were still circling in the sky. Everyone was scared. F***CK. There were 3 or 4 heart-grabbing birds in the sky. If they did not get rid of these birds, it would be a huge problem. Once they went out, they would definitely become targets. The heart-grabbing birds were strong. A second-step primordial spirit realm martial artist could barely fight against them. Even a third-step primordial spirit realm martial artist could not kill them. If they could not even go out, how could they hunt the savage beasts? How could they get the crystal stones? Were they all going to be trapped here? Other than Mo Rantian and the others who were calm, the others were extremely anxious. They were counting on Mo Rantian and the rest to attract the attention of the heart-grabbing birds so that they could get out. But if they did not move, the others could not do anything. Mo Rantian and the rest were not afraid of the heart-grabbing birds, but they did not want to take the lead. Once they went out, they would become live targets for the heart-grabbing birds. This was not what they wanted. Although they were not afraid, it was troublesome. Seeing that everyone was not moving, Yan Hanwu smiled faintly and walked out of the hall. At this moment, Yu Daijiao stopped him. Are you going out now? That's right. You guys are not going, but it doesn't mean that I won't go. I don't want to waste time here. I still want the immortal weapon. Yan Hanwu said. It's too dangerous. The heart-grasping birds are extremely difficult to deal with. Even we would not dare to take such a risk. If you go out by yourself, only death will await you. It's better to wait, Yu Daijiao said. There's not much time left. I can't wait. Yang Hanwu said, thank you for your concern, Yu Shenzi. I have already made up my mind, so Yu Shenzi need not say any more. Yang Hanwu rejected Yu Daijiao's kind intentions. On the other side, Zetian sneered and said, you really don't know what's good for you. You're only at the first level of the mystic embryo realm. Do you really think you're still the same as before when your genuine chi was restricted? For the Zetian, Yang Hanwu was more than happy to die here. Even if Qin Wenyan wasn't killed by the savage beasts, he would still kill Qin Wenyan. The fact that Qin Wenyan was still alive was his humiliation. At the thought of his fiancée, Jing Qiushuang, twisting under Yang Hongwu's body, Zetian felt as if his heart had been pierced by thousands of arrows. The pain was unbearable, and his anger continued to surge. What was more abominable was that Hu Shou'er actually looked down on him and even threatened to commit suicide. Damn it, damn it. All of this was because of that bastard, Yang Hongwu. If it weren't for him, he would have already reached the 4th step of the primordial spirit realm and obtained the soul-devouring bone spear. At the 4th step of the primordial spirit realm, with the complete Taotai battle body and the soul-devouring bone spear, his combat strength was definitely the most outstanding among the younger generation. How could he let Mo Tian be so arrogant? Therefore, Zi Tian's hatred for Yang Hongwu had reached the extreme. Even 1,000 cuts would not be able to erase this hatred. Moreover, if he couldn't kill Yang Hongwu, there would be a thorn in his heart. If he couldn't clear his mind, Zi Tian would never be able to break through to the primordial spirit realm in this lifetime. No one will think you're mute if you don't speak, Yang Hongwu said coldly when he heard that. You're courting death. Do you think it's still the same as before when your genuine qi was restricted? Now that your genuine qi is no longer restricted, do you think you can escape if I want to kill you? Zi Tian said angrily. Come at me if you have the guts, Yang Hongwu said sarcastically. Don't grumble. I'll wait for you outside. With that, Yang Hongwu strode out. At this moment, a heart-grabbing bird pounced at him, and the other heart-grabbing birds also moved. Yang Hongwu chuckled and the divine dragon demon-suppressing talisman flew out from his spiritual abode. Now that Yang Hongwu had cultivated the primordial spirit, the power of the primordial spirit controlled the divine dragon demon-suppressing talisman was not just a little bit stronger than before. The divine dragon demon-suppressing talisman shone with a golden light and turned into a golden dragon. With a roar, the dragon's power was intimidating, and the heart-grabbing bird was frightened away. Everyone was dumbfounded when they saw this scene. This was especially true for Zi Tian. He had never imagined that things would turn out this way. He was disappointed. He was truly disappointed. How did this happen? He's gotten stronger. Mo Tian said. The power of that talisman treasure is indeed strong. It's not any weaker than my immortal weapon ink landscape painting. In fact, it's even slightly stronger. If he's at the 2nd or 3rd step of the primordial spirit realm, it's hard to imagine how strong he'll be. As expected of the person I've chosen. Yu Dai's eyes were charming and sparkling. She stared at Yang Hongwu with a smile on her face. Everyone else was overjoyed. This is great. The heart-grabbing birds have been chased away. We can go out now. With the heart-grabbing birds guarding the entrance of the hall, getting out was a problem. How were they going to hunt beasts and obtain crystals? Without crystals, they would be killed. That was why everyone was so happy that the heart-grabbing birds were chased away. If the heart-grabbing birds did not leave, they would have to take the risk and go out. With such a big group, someone would definitely be targeted by the heart-grabbing birds. Who would live and who would die? That would depend on luck. Now that the heart-grabbing birds were chased away, there was one less threat. All of a sudden, everyone rushed out. Without the heart-grabbing birds watching them, they felt much more relaxed. Zi Tian walked out coldly. His eyes were fixed on Yang Hongwu. He really wanted to kill Yang Hongwu, but he knew that with Mo Tian and Yu Dai Jiao around, it was impossible for him to kill him. Even if Yun Peng was willing to help him, it was impossible to kill him. Moreover, there were other people from the Tianyi Academy, led by Storm. Although he could defeat these people one-on-one, there was no way he could face so many of them. Yang Hongwu, I'll kill you. You'd better not be alone. After saying that, Zi Tian turned and walked out. If you said that half a year ago, I would be afraid. But now? Ha, who will live and who will die? It's not up to you, it's up to me. Yang Hongwu said confidently. It's not up to you to decide who will live and who will die, it's up to me. This sentence was really domineering. A mysterious embryo realm warrior dared to say such words to a 3rd-step primordial spirit realm expert. If he did not have a strong backing, then he was a fool. There was no other possibility. Chapter 273. Storm's invitation you've angered Zetian, he won't let you go. Why don't we work together? Mo Rantian looked at Yang Hanwu and said, if you work with us, we can protect you and even give you crystal stones. Oh, is there such a good thing? Yang Hanwu looked at Mo Rantian. The first saint of the devil sect in the western continent was very powerful, but why would he help him? There must be a condition. Perhaps he came because of his identity as a Dan King. Yu Dai Jiao was probably the same. Yang Hanwu was not a fool, he understood this point. You're a 7th grade alchemist, a Dan King. A favor from you is very valuable. Mo Rantian said. You know my identity as an alchemist, do you think it's possible? You're from the devil sect and I'm a student of the Tianyi Academy. Yang Hanwu looked at the two and said indifferently. Don't refuse so directly. It's not a bad thing for you. Moreover, we don't want you to betray the Tianyi Academy. Moreover, you're a 7th grade alchemist, who dares to offend you? Mo Rantian was telling the truth. No one dared to offend a 7th grade alchemist. As long as he said the word, countless people would be willing to work for him. Anyway, thank you for your kindness. I need that 8th grade pill, so I need to hunt some savage beasts. I don't care about ordinary savage beasts. Yang Hanwu shook his head and refused again. Devil sect. In fact, Yang Hanwu didn't care about the devil sect. As long as they had nothing to do with him, Yang Hanwu wouldn't fight with them for the so-called justice. Not everyone in the devil sect was a bad person. In the eastern continent, not everyone in the so-called righteous sect was a good person. For example, Zetian, he would kill the whole family. As long as he liked something, he would take it. It was natural to take other people's things. If other people took his things, they deserved to die. Such people were the most hateful. Of course, this was the way of the world. The weak were prey to the strong. Without strength, one could only be bullied. Having been in this world for so long, Yang Hanwu had already thought this through. Yang Hanwu wouldn't agree to cooperate with Udgao of Mo Ran Sky. Yang Hanwu wouldn't even cooperate with the people of Tianyi Academy, let alone them. In this place, for the sake of the legacy, he could not trust anyone. The only person he could trust was himself. That's a pity. Here's a messaging glyph. Take it first. If you want to join hands with me, or if you run into trouble, you can use the messaging glyph to inform me. I'll come to find you soon. After saying that, Mo Rantian handed the messaging glyph to Yang Hanwu and turned to leave. Only Udgao was left. In the distance, there were also people from the Celestial Academy, including Feng Yu. Let's go together, Yu Dai said. I've already made it very clear. Yang Hanwu shook his head. Fairy, don't make things difficult for me. My good brother, I've already said that I'll follow you. Don't worry, I won't do anything to you. I can swear. Yu Dai Jiao said. Yang Hanwu had a headache. I want to act alone. But I'm worried about your safety. You're a little brother that I've taken a fancy to with great difficulty. I don't want anything to happen to you. Yu Dai Jiao said. Yang Hanwu rolled his eyes. What little brother that you've taken a fancy to with great difficulty? Forget it. Do whatever you want. Yang Hanwu looked at Yu Dai Jiao. She was like a sticky candy. He was afraid that he wouldn't be able to get rid of her. When the students of the Tianyi Academy saw that such a beautiful woman was being chased by them, they were all filled with envy. At this time, Feng Yu walked over. Brother Yang. Brother Feng Yu, what's the matter? Yang Hanwu asked. Yang Hanwu didn't know Feng Yu, but he was still a student of Tianyi Academy. Brother Yang, we're all students of Tianyi Academy. How about we go together? Feng Yu said. Yang Hanwu shook his head. No need. You know that I'm very safe now. Zetian hates me to the bone. If I go with you, you'll be implicated. Brother, be careful. Feng Yu didn't insist. If Yang Hanwu didn't agree, he couldn't force him to go with him. Besides, he had heard about Yang Hanwu's deeds. his temper wasn't very good. In fact, the strongest true disciple of Tianyi Academy wasn't Feng Yu or Zi Xintong. However, they didn't enter the Morning Soul Mountain Range this time. Instead, they went to the Four Directions Holy Land. The Four Directions Holy Land was the joint holy land of the four great academies. The supreme inheritances of the four great academies were there. Feng Yu and the others were slightly weaker and didn't have the qualifications to become true disciples. Therefore, they entered the Morning Soul Mountain Range to try their luck. The Morning Soul Mountain Range was too dangerous. The mortality rate was extremely high. The harvest was also far less than the Four Directions Holy Land. However, they didn't have the qualifications to enter the Four Directions Holy Land. As for Mo Rantian and the others, they were very strong. They could contend against the true disciples of the four great academies. However, they actually looked down on the true disciples. Even though the Four Directions Holy Land was powerful, it was still inferior to the Morning Soul Mountain Range. If they could obtain the inheritances there, it would be much more powerful than obtaining the inheritances in the Four Directions Holy Land. In fact, what they didn't know was that the four great holy lands and the Morning Soul Mountain Range were actually ancient ruins that were connected to each other. They were all ancient battlefields. Even the leaders of the four great academies didn't know about this. Even the people of ancient region didn't know about this. The number of people who knew about this secret was too few. Seeing that Feng Yu's proposal was rejected, one of the Celestial Academy's students said, "Senior Feng Yu, this Yang Hongwu doesn't give you any face. You are a true disciple. You are the most promising student to become a true disciple." "Yeah, this Yang Hongwu is too presumptuous." Another student echoed. Feng Yu said, "What do you know? Yang Hongwu's current status is much higher than me, a true disciple. Not to mention me, even a true elder's status can't compare to him. A Dan King's status is equivalent to that of a true dean or even a leader." Equivalent to a leader? How is that possible? He is only at the first level of the Xian embryo realm. Another disciple said jealously, "My strength is greater than his. Isn't it just alchemy? Maybe he was just lucky to be able to refine a 7th grade pill. Otherwise, why would he refuse to refine a 7th grade pill for someone else?" Yang Hanwu was such a young Dan King. Many people were unconvinced and jealous of him. How could he become a Dan King at such a young age with such a weak cultivation? How could he obtain so many benefits and be worshipped by so many people? Why can't it be me? You're tuning into the Mythic Realms YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.